how goes it? And we're like, what, hon? Your timing is just perfect. Just as I kick off the stream, you're calling me from the other room.
Mom wants to know if we got a picture frame.
A picture frame? I didn't see any picture frames in the stuff she sent us. The room, and I got caught in the conversation. How's everyone doing? What's up, Gangster Hobby? What is up there, Seth the Husky Tuber? I'm doing well. We've got a new setup going. We've got the retro arcade in full resolution up top. Oh, that's cool, but there are no pro teams. There's pro conglomerates, but I wouldn't, not to say anything against you, but I play on a pro circuit. You don't have what it takes to make real money. I'm totally messing with you, dude. Just trying to crush your feelings. Nah, dude, go for it. Have fun with it, man. Make friends. I'm just totally chalking you, dude. Just totally messing with you, dude. I've never even watched you really play, so I wouldn't know. I'm just messing with you. That's what people always say, like, oh, yeah, you know. Go for it. Yeah, no problem there, Badwick Productions. Go check out Badwick Productions. Before you guys log off, though, I'm going to show you a new thing we're going to do here, and we're going to test it out with my friend T-Ray, who's a gamer. Hopefully he'll show up in here, but in the meantime, you remember this fun little widget, right? We've got the Let's Grow, subscribe, comment, and share. We're going to support while I play. Try to help out T-Ray here. See if we can get him to, let's say, 545. See if that happens, and if he gets to 545 before we conclude our live stream, we'll put somebody else up from the chat. And I'll pick a random chatter to get up next, because before I used to have a waiting list and people just wouldn't hang out, and that really ruined it for those that hung out in the chat and waited their whole time, and people would just leave. So you have to be in the chat to get on the board, and you have to remain in the chat while you're up, except for T-Ray, who's just starting out. I let him know I was doing the stream, but he may or may not jump in during this or not. But yeah, we're going to try to directly help do this. They have 3.5k subs. You're wasting your time with somebody who... No professional gamer has less than freaking 50,000 subs. No real team has less than 100,000 subs, right? You know, if you really want to get into professional gaming, sign up for the cup, right? Sign up for league. You know, my little one plays league. I play league. Not recently, but I'm waiting for next season to start for Call of Duty, and I may or may not build a team for that one this year around. I did enjoy solos the last 2 times I went. It's a lot more fun, especially when you're dealing with adults who have jobs and things like that. You can't just walk away to go to a tournament that may or may not, you know, I'm not like a top winner, but I placed well enough to make money playing video games when I did play, and won several prizes if you pay attention to like what's been shot in the room and things I presented before. A lot of us like, wait, that's the 2016 championship prize. I'm like, yeah. I didn't play that tournament. I was on the team, but I did not play. I was a backup for if somebody else couldn't play or got DQ'd. Having fun?
Yeah, I talked to Mom. She was eating dinner, so.
Got off the hook quick then, huh?
I like talking to your Mom. She said she sent it. She thinks she sent it, but she doesn't know, so.
I looked through everything unless it's in the Buddha box.
I don't know.
But I didn't see anything. That Buddha box was all that was in that one box, was just the Buddha that she sent me, the golden Buddha.
I don't know. I told her we had the boxes, so we'll look later.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So how's everyone? Sorry. Family stuff. My mom came back from her trip from overseas. She did like the whole European world tour kind of thing. So she mailed us a bunch of cool stuff. I got a nice little, I'll show you, that my mom went out and got me. Wait, go to the photos here. If you guys can see that. A golden Buddha. And then I don't have a picture of everything that was on the table. But like I got stuff from like Portugal, Rome. She got me, oh, where is it? This is, I think, is really cool if you... So, My mom actually, if you're religious, this is meaningful. If you're not religious, it's not really meaningful. But for someone like me who is religious, it's very meaningful. Holy water from the Vatican. You know, so I thought that was really cool. My mom got me one of those while she was over there. I thought that was really neat. And then I got the Buddha. We got like a rooster from Portugal and a bunch of shot glasses and t-shirts and all kinds of... Speaking of t-shirts, this is the latest print for the Drew Henderson channel. Yes, it's intentionally crooked, right? It was actually designed that way for a reason. But yeah, that's why it's there, because when I sit like this, originally I had it set up so when I played, it leveled out. If you notice, see how it's flat when I'm playing. But when I'm sitting and standing still, it's back to being crooked. It's just so that when you're actually sitting, it's not super crooked. It's just pre-staging of your logo and design based on what you're going to be doing. But yeah, see, like when I play, it's pretty much straight and level. But when I'm sitting back, it goes back to being crooked because I wanted it to, so when I propped up my arm, if you notice now, when my arm's propped up, the logo is straight. That's all it's for. Trying to push the brand out there as best as I can. Trying to help people. If you haven't already, subscribe to T-Ray, because like I said, if that ticker hits 545, we're going to jump on to the next person in the chat. And we'll pick a random participant. Let's see who we got participating right now. We've got Gangster Hobby, Seth the Husky Tuber, and Whoa YouTube, who's about to hang out with some professional gamers. I would ask them important questions because... I played on a circuit for years as an individual and then played on several teams. I was on Team Chaos for Halo and Stupid Orange, if you're familiar with League of... I always call it Heroes of the Dorm, but what is it? Heroes of the Storm or something like that. We always just called it Heroes of the Dorm. And then I got into that for a while. And then if you guys remember Paragon was pretty big. Used to play that. That's fun. But I prefer first-person shooters because it's just easier to deal with, and you don't have to worry about like your meta with other players because like if you've ever played those games, it's a roulette on who gets what character, and you could spend the whole entire tournament hoping to get a character and be really good at a character, but if another player snatches them up, you're pretty much SOL. So kind of you have to learn the whole dynamic of the board, and when they keep adding new characters, it makes it really hard to maintain the metadata. And when you make a careless mistake and pick a character and you get swept over it, yeah. It's not fun, but at least with Call of Duty, everything's pretty much the level playing field. It's about running your kit and running your setup, and everybody knows all the breaks and how to do stuff. Like, I entered the tournament when the Chris Vector was the most broken submachine gun for run and gun. Like, you literally, if you hit, put it on maximum damage, or what is it, the piercing rounds and whatever attributes you wanted to add to your gameplay, those things all changed the dynamic of how that weapon ran. And if you set it up just right, it was basically a one-shot, one-kill weapon. And you had a light, fast fighter, and I used to just run and gun with it. And yeah, you take a lot of hits and you take a lot of damage, but you still get a lot of kills. As long as you're killing 4-1 or 5-1 in a tournament, you're helping your team win. The worst is you get a person who just winds up bait for the other team. And a lot of teams will catch on really quick on who to attack. I know from team dynamics and playing that if the team doesn't practice regularly online, it's not worth your time. I've done that. I've been recruited, played for several teams, played on some major cup teams, and every time I've walked away, people are like, "Oh yeah, check me out." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm always interested in like playing and meeting new people. And people are like, "Oh, come check out my team." And I go check out the team. And they're like, "All right, so when do you practice?" We haven't figured that out. So you don't even have a practice schedule. The only way your team's going to win is if you practice together. That's like Dubs. He plays pretty much every day from 5:30 to 7 with the same 6 people. And they form a team. They work together. Occasionally they have 10 players, but generally it's the same 6. And they have 4 people that kind of come and go, but it's really just the same 6 people playing constantly. And trust me, when they rotate out, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that team. It's pretty brutal. And that's because they practice every day. And they're like 11. And that's the fun part, taking them to the tournament. And they're beating up on teenagers. They enter the under 13 division. And they just murder people. It's like a clap fest. right? Especially when they run their formations and they run their team play like a strategic team does. It gets really, really fun. So that's the only thing I would really suggest if you're considering it, is like really just factor in where they're at. Don't let sub counts, like I tell you, sub counts is like the biggest misleading factor on YouTube, because you can manipulate subs like crazy. You can now, from what I found on Alibaba earlier this morning, you can buy a YouTube channel that already has 4K watch time and 1,000 subs attached to it. Granted, yeah, those subs probably won't watch your show, but it's already a fully monetized, ready to be monetized channel. Basically, all you have to do is set up your AdSense account, attach it to it, verify it, and take over the account, and it becomes your channel. And from what I read on YouTube, there is nothing saying that you can't transfer a channel or give a channel away or do whatever you want with the channel after you've produced it. So I can't find anything that says you can't sell a website, you can't sell your YouTube account to someone else, which I think if you're trying to be a business and you're trying to take off on the platform right out the gate, or you're just lazy, but I wouldn't say buying 1,000 account ready to go is a lazy move. It just means it could be a smart play on your part, depending on where you're at. But go to Alibaba if you really want just to, Christmas is around the corner, and I'm not going to tell you the prices, but it's less than the cost of a PlayStation, which kind of blew my mind. But then I kind of did the math, and I was like, okay, my channel really doesn't make anything if I multiply that by 12 months. That's actually about $70 cheaper than what my channel makes a year based on nothing. So if you wanted to venture out into that and do that, what's up, T-Ray? Check it out, man. See? Told you I was going to promote your channel today. For those of you who didn't know, T-Ray's been checking out my streams, and he pops in and out. And if you're an active subscriber and you hang out, and you guys know this already, I'll put you up on the board, or I'll open up with you. There he is. We're trying to get you to 545 before I'll take you off the board. But let's get you on the board at 545 and see if we can get you there. Encourage people as they jump into the stream to subscribe to the channel. That's that box right there. And that's T-Ray, who's currently in the chat, who does gaming. And for those of you in there, your real good strategy right now, if you're gamers, I'm going to tell you right now, find 3 people that play as often as you do and as regularly as you do, and partner with them. Don't worry about forming a team, pro team. That's all garbage, right? Because the second you're going to have to pay a $250 per person entry fee, yeah. And it sounds great, like as a kid, and somebody says, hey, we'll cover all your entry fees and all your tournament fees for 60% of your winnings, or even 20%. You realize you're giving your money away, right? Anything you earn, you're giving it away to these people. And think about it with T-Phase and all these T-Clan crap and all that shit that's going down on right now in the gaming verse, where right now, FaZe Clan can't get in a tournament, right? Look that up. They're banned from several major tournaments as a team. Not because they're any good, but because they rip off their teammates. The T-Phase will trash when they leave, and they take most of their money, right? And they prey on young, under 18 players because they don't understand how money works, right? You think, oh, I don't have to pay a $250 fee. Well, when your team wins 10 grand, right, and you have to give up 60% of your earnings, right, of the earnings, that leaves you with 4 grand. And you basically gave up $6,000 for a $250 entry fee, right? Yeah. And unless these people are people that are going to carry you through a tournament or run you and gun you, it's just not worth it. Go out and build your own team. That's the best way to do it. I still have friends from when I was in school. I have friends on the West Coast that hey, are you going to come to California anytime soon? I'm like, no. I was like, if I bought you a plane ticket, would you play in a tournament with me? And I'm like, sure. I haven't played in a few years. Like, dude, I got you, dude. We'll get warmed up. A couple hours. We'll be all set. You'll be back in tune. I'm like, all right, whatever. Here I am. So that's really what I'm trying to tell you is build a good team. Build a team on your own. Make sure you have practice times. Make sure you have all that stuff. And you'll be fine in the tournament circuit. Right? And I always found that was like hot garbage. But I was an adult. So $250 for an entry fee? Pfft, no problem. That's one night of playing poker. Yeah, right? And I get to play longer playing in a tournament. In most cases, if you finish in the top 10%, you get your money back anyway. So why not? Hey, what's up, Raging Gamer? How you doing? So check it out. We brought back the board. If you haven't already subscribed to T-Ray, hit him up. He's another gamer. If you're looking for a person to game with, yeah, And that's what you want to do, is you want to build the community, especially right now. So for you guys that are in the gaming industry, there's going to be a lot of people around the corner trying to eat each other, right? Because there's going to be a lot less money in the gaming niche for YouTube, right? And there's going to be a lot less money in the gaming niche across the board because FTC regulates video games, and they are cracking down on minors playing in tournaments and being taken advantage of. To the point that I don't think if you're under the age of 13 for Call of Duty, you can be represented by an affiliate. You have to go in as a soloist, which is cool because I love playing random team. And it's really fun because at the end of the day, you play 7 random teams, you play with other people, meet people, and it doesn't really matter if you don't win that match. It's a matter about how many kills you carry in the 7-round tournament. And at the end, whoever has the most at the end of the 7 rounds is declared the winner. And you all work as a team, so it works really well. And then as a team rotates out, so you don't have like 5 people just swamping the whole group. You rotate every round, and sometimes you get stuck with somebody who sucks, but that's the fun part of roulette team. You know, and it's also, most of those tournaments to do roulette players, single roulette players, it's like $25 to enter because the teams that are looking to fill or need a fill point, they go to that bucket and they've already paid their team dues. So it's like, hey, can I get, I need a extra player. And that's how I got on Team Chaos. I entered in the solo division for Halo, got into the 6th round and got eliminated brutally by some little girl. And I mean, she was younger than my daughter at the time, and it was pretty eye-opening to get spanked by a girl and a young girl. But again, it's the nature of the beast of gameplay. 90% of you play online, you never see who your opponent is, and when you go to these tournaments and you're like, Mac Daddy, you're 60 years old, and and he's like, yeah, I've been playing video games to keep up with my grandkids, and I actually turned out to be very good, you know. So there's a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of these major tournaments like the E-Cup and stuff like that, but you're gonna make your bread and butter playing your local tournament, playing the, if you're in an area that has league available to you, because I know not all areas of the United States have league. I'm fortunate to be close enough to Boston and close enough to Concord. I'm actually kind of like right in the middle, so I can sit either in the Concord League or I can sit in the Boston League. And to us, it's our advantage. We know most of the community between the two, so when people start drawing their lines on which you know, where they want to, what league they want to play in, a lot of the really, really good players will come up to New Hampshire because they know they can sweep the Concord League, especially in M21 and M24 categories. These guys just dominate, and that's the unlimited class. That's you bring your own controller, hitboxes, all kinds of cool little widgets. You can have, if you haven't seen like a really cool gaming mouse or smaller computer keyboards than this guy, hit the circuit, and I've seen where people have actually disassembled keys off the keyboard so they didn't have to touch them by accident. So it is whatever you want to do. There's all kinds of crafty stuff. From what I understand right now, for code breakers, they're no longer allowing hitboxes unless it's regulated by them, meaning they verified that the chipset inside. And the big thing is, if you don't know how a hitbox works, what's up, Zanger PRK? Go check out T-Ray. He's at 540. At 545, we'll pick somebody from the chat to take his place, but we got to get him to 545 first. Right now we're just kind of talking game tournaments and understand, like, kind of talking my point when I used to be on the gaming circuit and played all the time. I don't anymore, other than League, and League is fun because it's all online now, and I'm not going to make it to the championship, so I ain't got to worry about, like, shaving my face or looking good for that, but I'll make it into the prelims and the semifinals for sure. The last 3 times I entered into League, I've finished in that category. Only once did I finish in the top 20%. And that was when Search and Seizure was the what do you call it, the code breaker of choice, as they want to call it, which is we lucked out 3 times in a row during the tournament. We pulled that game type. It's roulette games, and other than, you know, they take out deathmatch, individual deathmatch, but it's team deathmatch, seek and destroy, capture the flag, or control area, however you want to call it. But yeah. Zanger hit that like button for me, and I'll consider it. No, I'm kidding, man. Zinger PRK, hit that like button for me. Go check out his channel. Mash that red button, but don't forget to hit T-Ray's there. He's at 540. He needs to get to 545 before we'll take it off. And if you're in the chat, we might just throw you up on the board. I'm going to come up with a neat little way to decide who's going to get the next spot once he hits 45. But if you want to be one of the first ones on the board when I do this, I'm bringing this back. I had this all the way up until about September 15th. And then that's when I believe was when YouTube started messing with the 3-point count, so it's not always super accurate. What's up, Raging Gamer? Check out Raging Gamer. Go check out his channel. Mash that red button. Leave him a comment. Let him know what's up so he knows who to get back to. He already brought T-Ray to 540. We need to get him to... Where's 541 at? I know you guys are in here. Support him so we can get the next person on the board, and you can get another try and see if you can get some subs while we're up. I'm going to bring this back. I know that this was probably the second most popular thing I've done on YouTube. For those of you who were wondering, I believe, Raging, you're on that string. You're wondering... Let me just double check here. I believe Raging Gamer saw my post, but I just want to double check. But for those of you who are wondering what I'm about to talk about, go check to the community post, and you'll see what I posted earlier, because when I came home today, this was in the mail, right? And yes, it revolves around YouTube, but it's not dependent on YouTube, right? So I used YouTube to show my filming skills and ability to film stuff. And if you're in an area like I live in, there's a lot of real estate. And with real estate, in a real estate moving market, there are foreclosures. Banks don't waste money paying real estate agents to sell a home, but they need photographs of the home, right? And they're not super picky. It's very simple. Stand in the doorway, take the picture of the room, stand at the window, take a picture from the other room. You know, it's very clear, like, we need a picture from the doorway into the room out towards the doorway, other room, bathroom, you know, from the doorway, from the window, or however they say it. And long story short, you can get yourself one of these bad boys from a mortgage company, right? And that's generally what they pay for simple photography. And how do you find these ads? Or how do you find these opportunities? Craigslist, right? Go look under home foreclosures, and then you'll see a thing, photographers needed, right? And this company here pays all around the United States for people to take pictures of their homes that have been foreclosed on, right? So that they can put it in an index and sell those homes wholesale. Well, people are looking at, you know, with the market right now, it's like, you know, hey, that's not really what I want, but there are people who go out and buy foreclosed homes and they need to see an index, but they don't want to buy a foreclosed home because the majority of them are, you either get the pictures you have, or you stand in front of the house and go, yeah, I'll buy it, and you get inside and you find out it's gutted, right? Or in my case, I lived in a house where my landlord lost the house, and the auctioneers knock on your door, and people were like, oh, we're here. I'm like, what do you mean auctioning the house? And long story short, you know, when they auction the house, that's one chance there's people who go to auction get a chance to look inside, and it's a cash money buy. But in order to get those really heavy players that bid on the phone, they need some pictures, right? And most of these banks and companies don't have a photographer on tap. They don't have a real estate agent on tap. And generally, like in this case, this company has 2 homes in the whole entire state of New Hampshire that they are currently the mortgagers for, or the bank for. And one of those houses is literally not even a mile away from my house. So got on there. I was like, hey, I'm a professional. I'm a photographer. I saw the ad. They didn't even ask me like I was like, I can send you examples of my portfolio, all this stuff. They're like, nope, here's what we need. Do you and it was real cut and dry. This house, here's the pin. They give you the code to get in the house, right? Which I felt like it was really weird because I drove there by myself, and it was on Thursday, and it was in the evening, and I was like, I got 20 minutes. I'm just going to do this real quick and see what happens, because you don't get payment up front. You have to do the work, and that's kind of where it seems a little shady. And the real thing is I didn't even have my camera on me. I did all the work on my cell phone, right? And they didn't care. I told him, I says, I got there and I realized that my battery was dead, and I started and before I could exit, somebody else was looking at the house, so I just pulled my phone out, took all my pictures, and I was like, I gotta get these out there because I think this guy's doing the same thing. And so I went, snapped it up, sent an email out there. They said thank you. This, like I said, this was done last month, or actually not last month, it was at the beginning of this month, and no, it was at the end of last month, sorry. I believe it was the 27th of September. I did it on 27th of September, and within 3 days they said, hey, thank you, we'll cut you a check. And honestly, I thought, I just got scammed out of 20 minutes of my time, but I did it all with my phone. And today, open it up, bona fide check. And you know what? I thought it was garbage. I cashed it, called my bank. They said, no, that's a legit company. It's a legit check. It's actually situated to you. You're not being scammed. I was like, all right, then I'd like to deposit. Like, no problem, Mr. Reeves. Just take a picture of the front and back with the phone app, and it'll get pushed through. And I was like, cool. And it literally cleared. I processed and it cleared already. But yeah, you can do that. Nowhere in any of this process did the person ask me how old I was or what I did for a profession or anything like that. It was literally, I was scrolling through Craigslist under photography opportunities because I'm a photographer and I was looking for work. And it clearly says, we need somebody to take pictures of 2 foreclosed homes in New Hampshire. It doesn't have to be the same person. And I asked what the address was because they only had 2, and the first one they gave me was like the top of the state. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to trek out there for a possible check. You know, right? And I went out there, and long story short, the one, like I said, it's literally, actually, it's that way, right? And it's actually in a decent neighborhood. I was shocked to find out that the house was foreclosed, but it was in a decent neighborhood, and it literally took, I think it took like 30 minutes of my time. And to the point, like I said, I did it. I responded back. I sent them their photos. I did it all with my phone because I left my high-end camera at home that day because I was just coming from my office, and I realized that this house was between my house and my office. Yeah, this is basically what I'm trying to do, is try to help people one at a time. If you haven't already, Treyarch 2008, first off, go check out Treyarch's 2008. Go hit that red button. Leave them a comment to let them know what's up. And then go hook up your buddy T-Ray right here. He's a fellow gamer. He's just trying to get up on the skills here. He's a good dude. He watches my channel regularly. Like I said, if you come in and you watch my channel regularly, like I know Treyarch, I know iMonkey, I know Raging Gamer, I know Seth the Husky Tuber. Zanger, I know you've been in here a few times, but the people that are on there below you on the food chain have come in quite regularly. But like I said, if you want, all you gotta do is stick around. I'll pick a random person or maybe ask a question. The first person to answer the question will get put up there, and it's just a fun little thing. Originally, I was gonna sit here and play the arcade thing, which I could do, but it's all fun and games. But like I said, to what I was saying, iMonkey, this $500 check from Primal Residential Mortgage is the bank that out of Utah that paid me to go take a picture of a house they own that was foreclosed. And yes, I did it like on the 27th of September, and I mailed back their stuff that day. And if you look here, they actually cut the check October 1st. It just took them a while, and the part that's covering up here is why it took them a while, because they misspelt my address, and my postman was like, hey, I think this is you. And I said, yeah, that actually is me. He's like, yeah, they put the wrong address, and it's because the way my street is mentally rigged up in your head, but it's not. When I say my address, a lot of people say, oh, it's this, and I'm like, no, it's this. And they're like, huh? That makes no sense. I go, I know. But I bought the house that way. I bought it because I liked the name of the street. I just didn't realize it confuses the hell out of everybody. So, yeah, that's the only reason why it took so long is it went to the wrong, it basically went one block up because they misspelt the name and messed it up, and it's one street over from where it was at, and luckily it's the same postman, and he was like, hey, I believe this is you, is it? And I looked at it, yeah, I'm Andrew Reeves, this is actually it, but they just messed up the address. And he's like, all right, well, you have a great day, sorry about that, it wound up in the wrong house because they messed up the address. And I was like, yeah, it probably happens all the time. He's like, yeah, it does, especially with your street. It's just the first time it's happened to you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I talked to my neighbor. He says it happens to him all the time. that businesses and companies mess up the spelling of our street, and it gets spelt like the street next to ours. And there's also, the same numbers on this street that are on that street. They're just on the other end. So like they go like this. The numbers go on my street, they go low to high. On the street of both of us, they go from high to low. And they're both cul-de-sacs. So they're both streets that go nowhere. And it's just funny. But yeah, so yeah, I did. And that was the fun part. And this is why I wanted to share it with you. I didn't want to share this whole process with people until I actually got the check in hand and already cashed it. Like I said, I did this on the 27th. Sent them all this stuff later that day. Like I said, I did it all from my phone. And when I was doing it, I almost swear to God that the person that came in after me was about to do the same thing. Because they were real quick to give me the code to the door. They said, hey, here's the code to the door to get in. Once you're in, please take the photos in this format, and if you see anything out of place or destroyed, please let us know. I took pictures of everything, and I told them, hey, I didn't see anything that looked like it wasn't operable, but I didn't check, like anything like that. And they're like, that's fine. That's all we asked you to do. And the one thing they did ask me that it took me a second to figure out was they asked if the house had been broom swept, and I didn't understand what that meant because I'm not a real estate agent. And broom swept clean means that it's just been swept. It can be dusty. There can be stuff all over the floor, but it's just kind of like you would sweep, like if you asked your 10-year-old brother to sweep the floor, that's what you would get as an outcome, is the best way to describe it. And if he's not super neat freak, like Dubs can't sweep. My oldest son can't sweep a floor for his life. If his life depended on it, he'd be dead twice. As I said, same for me. There's certain things that like spelling, and a proper tense and all that stuff. Forget about it. I'm an electrical engineer. I look at charts and numbers and data, right? And those things never make sense. So in my head, they do. But now that's how that was done. It was a real quick, low down and dirty thing. Like I said, I didn't think anything of it because it took them this long. It's now like the 21st. But as my postman told me, he said they've had this for over a week. It was sent to the person this went to, which should have been me. It went to the wrong house. They must have had it, and they finally wrote on the thing, return to sender, not at this address, right? And my mailman was coming by, and he goes, are you Andrew? He just like, you're Reeves, right? And I'm like, yeah. Andrew was like, yeah, are you expecting anything? And I'm like, well, I may or may not be getting anything. He's like, this got delivered. Is this you? And I'm like, yeah, that's actually me. I was actually expecting something from these people because it clearly states on the front who is it from. And I'm like, oh, I was waiting for these people. And I didn't think anything of it. I opened it up today, and I was like, oh, crap. I had literally forgotten about it, and was like, I opened up, oh, crap, here's $500 for taking some photos. And I didn't have to have a fancy camera. Like I said, I did all the photos with my phone. It's one of the things I do. Stock photography doesn't cost you anything. You can do all of it on your phone now. It doesn't cost anything to sign up for Adobe. If you're taking photos of, like, weird stuff, just as long as you describe it, make sure there's no like visible logos. You can't have like stuff of Nike, and you can't have people's faces in some of these shots because they're stock photography unless you have a model's release or you lie. A friend of mine is a photographer, and long story short, he has a very, very good photo and a person's in the background, and he never got that person's permission, and the person didn't know for about 5 years. And he's made a pretty good chunk of change off of that stock photo. And, well, long story short, he's in court now. And he will most likely have to pay a shit ton of money because this lady is not allowing him to pay her out. Like, he's made, I think, close to like 20 grand off of that photo. And he's like, nope. He's like, dude, can I just pay you? This is exactly what I've made off the photo. You can see the receipt. I'll give you half. At one point, he even told, he says, I'll give you what I have available of that money right now. He's a pretty successful photographer. He's actually a person that helped me get into photography and not in like taking photos part, but how to establish the business, how to charge people, how to rate your photos, how to build a photo book, how to land, wedding jobs, those sort of things. Great person. Like I said, I just feel bad for him because he made that mistake. And as somebody who's young and new to the thing, the last thing you want to do is do what he did. Like I said, he took this photo almost 10 years ago. And it took the lady like 10 years to discover it. And when she discovered it, she was livid. She got a lawyer. She got everything. And he's even tried to settle out of court, over it. and all this stuff. And she's like flat out, no, you damaged my image. You know, I'm not a professional, nor do I want to be. I never wanted my face put out in public. And, you know, this thing wound up in a print ad. So, yeah, he's hurting. He's going to be hurting for quite some time because it was an old rookie mistake. And he admits it. He told me, he's like, dude, make sure you go through your stuff. And I was like, I don't have any people in any of my stock photography. I don't even have blurs of people because I'm afraid of that. Right? And I'm aware of that. I've had my likeness stolen, as I like to say. Somebody uses your likeness without your permission in a public setting or in an environment where they're not allowed to. I was in an area where filming was closed, and we were filming, and somebody filmed me being filmed and took a part of my interview without me even being aware of it and posted it on a very, very popular network television to the point I was getting emails, hey, I saw you on Discovery! And I'm like, where? And I'm like, oh no, it's here. Now it's on the History Channel. And I'm like, where? And it's on a particular segment. And after talking with the production crew and everything that filmed the interview, because the interviews used over there, they said, that's not from our camera. That's someone else's. And long story short, I immediately approached the network and said, hey, you used my likeness without my permission. Your photographer and videographer never had permission to do my interview. They're actually recording somebody else's interview over the off angle. And they said, Mr. Reeves, before we'd like to go to court, we would just simply like to offer you XYZ. And I was like, what's XYZ? And I'm like, yeah, I'll sign whatever you need to sign because it's not that big of a deal to me, right? And it was a nice little paycheck, worked out, bought some cool stuff with it. You know, those are things you do, but I wouldn't do that. What up, dude? You'd like one of these? I haven't figured out what we're going to price this at. This is it's fleece. It's super soft and cozy, but it's a Microtech shirt, right? And they're, so we haven't figured out what we're going to do these for, but it's winter coming around. This is nice. I got it. It is purposely crooked. It's not that we ordered it crooked. My answer is real quick. Like if I prop my arm up and I sit somewhere one-sided like this, and you notice now my logo is straight. It was just kind of a pre-thought, and I thought it would be clever, but yeah, it's cool. Yep. If you'd like one of the t-shirts or one of these designs, shoot me an email. I'll send you an invoice via PayPal. That's kind of just how it works. And the neat thing is it doesn't cost you anything until you pay for it. So you can, I'll send you the invoice, and if you change your mind, you don't have to, process the invoice. If you process the invoice, it processes a shirt. If you ever use PayPal for a business, it's a great tool. It protects both parties. The buying party gets to purchase through PayPal. I never see your credit card information, nor do I have access to it or even know what other than your shipping address. And PayPal sends you the thing. You print out the label, shipping to them. Once the postmaster scans it, now you can't just put it in your mailbox and ship it out or give it to the mail person. You actually have to go to the post office to do this part. They scan it. As soon as they scan it, it cuts you the check, right? Because they already tell you as a product seller that the funds are clear and secured, meaning PayPal has already taken possession of the money. They've already charged the credit card, and they're holding the money until you release the product. As soon as you show a shipping release of the product, the funds get released, right? Yes, there are people who do shady stuff. I'm not one of those people. I just don't really care to. I find it takes more effort to rip somebody off than to be honest with them and get their money. In the business sales situation and somebody who's worked off of commissions before, it's just easy to be straightforward, tell them the truth, and not have to really force the sale, and it happens. So if you're interested, hit me up. We'll get them produced. They're all custom made. They're all singly made by my fiance Missy. We bought all the t-shirt stuff because I just didn't feel comfortable. Like this, I wouldn't mind charging like $40 for this because it's a really, really nice active fleece shirt. It's an actual name brand shirt. It's a Microtech micro fleece shirt. But I wouldn't mind charging that. But that Teespring shirt that I have on there, that I got to keep on there for the next, I think 3 months. I have to hold it for a total of 90 days on my channel as part of the deal. That shirt, I did not know this when I signed up for that. I did not know that shirt was going to cost you guys $40. Okay? For just a shirt that says it's Trump's fault. I can make that same shirt for $10 and sell it fairly at 15, right? If you factor in everything, if you buy everything in large quantity wholesale, like I said, I'm not buying in large quantities wholesale right now, but my idea is I get the orders and I'll just do them once. And, you know, since we released the other shirt, I got in one order, and it's from a family member, which I thought was really cool. So I was like, all right, cool. I didn't know you still watched my show, but hey, Chrissy, thanks for watching my show and thanks for buying a shirt. You know? Yeah, and like I said, if you just got home from work myself, oh, good for you, man. I know that you work long hours. The bad kids. Yeah, and ideally that's what I'm hoping is to produce a nice shirt, a nice quality product, because I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable with the sample I got from Teespring. I know their samples are not designed to fit you, but you're supposed to be able to, like, you know, really for me, I'm a textile person, even though I have no physical feel, or like reduced physical feeling, but I like the way this feels, and I like these for t-shirts, right? And this is the other t-shirt we have. This is the one that we actually sold one of, right? Granted, it's my cousin, but nonetheless, still a sale's a sale. You know, if you can't sell something to your family, it's harder to sell stuff to your family than it is to sell to a stranger, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, hey Mike, don't forget, I think you're already friends with T-Ray, but T-Ray's right up here. We're trying to get him to 545 right now. As soon as we get him off, we'll pick another person randomly off the board. I know I'm normally should be playing my arcade right now, but so much cool stuff's been going on today. You know, I got a $500 check from a real estate bank for taking some real estate photos with my phone. Yeah, it took them a while, but, you know, and I didn't think it was legit, but I was like, hey, whatever, I'll take some photos. I didn't even have my camera. I'll just do it with my cell phone. No big deal, right? Did it, sent it off. It took them a while. Well, it didn't really take them a while because if I remember correctly, I accepted a job on the 27th, took pictures of everything, sent them the stuff on the night of the 27th. They sent me the confirmation email saying thank you and we will issue you payment shortly, right? And that's when I was like, that doesn't sound right. I thought you'd issue me a payment once I sent you the photos. Shortly doesn't seem, and what it meant is by the 28th I sent it, and as you can see on here, October 1st is when they cut the check. The reason why I only got the check now is I shouldn't really cover it because it's the wrong address, but I just don't want people sending stuff over to the street over thinking they're sending it to me. And that's what happened is wrong address, wrong street. My street is spelled one way, the street next to me is spelled a different way, but they both sound the same when you say them. And if you spell them the way it sounds, you wind up on another street. If you spell it the way it's supposed to be spelled, you wind up on my street. That's all that happens. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm trying to help him out, just trying to help people grow. I've got some of this stuff working again. I don't think I'm going to go 6 deep anymore. That's just a lot of coding, and that's a lot of things I got to fix. I did, as you notice here, that is actually punched in directly from the unit to my computer. So instead of it going to a TV and then filming it, I'm able to pump it in through the cam link because the cam link thinks this, because this sends out what's called a raw HDMI signal, right? It's able to, the cam link is able to recognize it as a camera feed and not a video game feed. So like my PlayStation won't pump through the cam link, even though it takes on any HDMI cable. It won't pump through it. I won't get it to display at all, right? No matter what I change on my PlayStation, even if I take my Pro down and kick it down a notch, it still won't display on that cam link because it's designed to take a raw HDMI feed. Lucky for me, this little bad boy from China that runs off of all these cool little ports actually has an HDMI raw built into it. So it runs like a camera, right? So it transmits up, and I just unplugged the battery. Or not the battery, but the AC adapter on this thing. That's the only thing, like, if you were to ask me what I think of this unit, in comparison to buying that, right, so that, the Street Fighters are like 250, 300 right now, if you buy one, and then, obviously, everybody knows the Ninja Turtle one, because they're hard for you to come by. The cheapest you'll get one is if you buy it retail, which is $400 from Walmart. You buy it secondhand from anyone else. I've seen them even in my local neighborhood, knowing fully well my Walmart has like 6 of them now. They're selling them for like $900, right? And you have to come pick it up from the person here in New Hampshire. I'm like, what? $900? That's insane. And I have people like, dude, I'd spend $900 on that if I could have it today. And I'm like, we're in New Hampshire. It's like, oh, I'm in California. It's like, apparently California doesn't have any, right? I'm pretty sure the homeless convert them into actually small homes because, there's a higher homeless population than a home population in California now. Scary fact. If you think what's going on in California is great, like political-wise, like you kids are like, oh yeah, they don't have to start school till like 9 o'clock. They ain't got all of this. California has the highest unemployment rate in the nation. It also has the highest homeless rate. It also has the highest drug addiction rate. And it has the highest homeless infected rate, right? Which, if you don't know what that means, that is homeless. There's several demographics with the CDC. One of them is the amount ratio of, and it's a scary fact, how many of your homeless actually are clinically diagnosed with a condition or disease, right? And it's pretty damn high in California. And I say high because if you didn't know this, one of the reasons why California has the highest homeless population is California is a drug crime free state, right? If you didn't know that, they passed, like San Francisco, one of the reasons why you have all these drug addicted people and nobody's arresting them. If in California, if the person in the arresting party deems that arresting you would be a burden on the city, meaning they would have to feed you, house you, and all that stuff and get you clean, they're not going to bother arresting you. So they don't bother arresting their drug addicted homeless, right? Now, if you're a drug addicted multimillionaire, they're going to cuff you and then fine you, but you'll be rich enough to avoid any real jail time because everybody knows the rich don't go to jail. Look at like Laura and all of them. She spent so much money cheating the college system to get her kids in. She could have built a college for that much money. I mean, why would you spend like $500,000 to get a $90,000 education? Are you paying your student loans up front? She's going to take out like $90,000. By the time she pays it off, she'll be basically paid $500,000 towards her student loan debt. I just pay the $500,000 now. I guess is maybe her logic. I don't know. Or she just really wanted her kid to go to that stupid school, right? I don't understand why people even want to go to that school. That school's a garbage school. Yes, I did call USC a garbage school. Right? The bad kids. Yeah, for real, right? Like, if your kid, honestly, and the funny part is this, is like, none of these kids failed, right? What does it tell you? You weren't good enough to get in, but your mom had to bribe your way, but you survived. Or is it the fact that college education really isn't worth the money anymore, right? It's really an institution designed to print money, right? Think about this. There are two things you will never learn in school, regardless if you go to college or anything like that. One, and they're two most important things you need to know as an adult. One, how to manage and operate money, basically how money really works, and how credit works. Like a lot of you go, oh, I understand credit. I know credit. You take out a credit card, you pay back. It's like borrowing money. No, that's one type of credit. Then there's the thing that rich people do, which is called leveraged credit, right? This is where, a good example of how to leverage your credit. My house is worth X. Well, we'll just say to simplify things, my house is worth $100,000, right? And of that $100,000, the bank will say that, hey, at any point you want to leverage your home's credit line, you can take up 50% of your home, right? And that's $50,000. Now, depending on what your ratio is on your house and where your credit is, you can leverage that. One of the neat things about leveraging credit, instead of using your money to buy something, is if it doesn't work out, you can default, right? Meaning you can either file for bankruptcy, you can file, if it's a business, you can fold a business overnight. Although I've had a lot of businesses and little startups and things like that, I've had a lot of failures and had to publicly fold a business. The nice thing about publicly folding an LLC or an Inc. is that when you fold them, they have no credit impact on the owner or the CEO or FFO or however you want to call it, depending on where your state is. It has no impact to that person's credit. So when I built my holster company and bought all the machinery and did everything on credit, and my number one competitor basically, long story short, sunk my business overnight with highly competitive pricing. Big guy crushing the little guy, essentially. I had to fold my business. Well, what did I have to do? I had machines I had on lease. I had things that I wanted, that I had purchased outright or I had purchased on credit. And they were all purchased against the credit of the business or the LLC. And when, black becomes red, right? In the business sense, when you're running on the black, meaning you're making money. If you're running the red, you're not making money. And you run your company red for too long, you wind up with a mountain of debt you can't overcome. So the easiest way is to fold the business and file bankruptcy against the business. And that's nothing anyone in college taught me. right? I learned that from my mother, right? Why? Because my mom's owned a business and explained to me how credit for a business works versus credit against the person works, and that's basically what I call leveraging credit, right? And in my mom's case with her salon, right, which I watched my mom spent 30 plus years building that little itty bitty salon in San Diego, right? It's her pride and joy, and it's the coolest thing I ever had. You know, as a kid, I always thought that was cool that while other parents went to work every day and worked for a boss, my mom worked for herself. My dad, he's a welder. Yeah, right. So he worked for a boss and will most likely always work for a boss until he retires. But that's an acceptable outcome. My mom is her own boss, which is kind of why I've always had little side businesses, like, you know, my photography business. Now we're expanding to making T-shirts on top of doing YouTube. These are all things that create income, right? But these are things that are helpful to people and help people. You know, if you can sit here and do YouTube and aspire to be that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's a long haul challenge to get to 1,000, but I found a really, really massive shortcut, and I don't think I can post it on YouTube, but I can tell you all about it. If you really, really just want a website, you want your own YouTube channel with 1,000 subs already on it, and they're not active. I don't believe they're active, and nowhere in there does it say it's 1,000 active subs, but it's a channel with over 1,000 subs. Generally, I think it's anywhere from like 1,005 to 1,025 based on the ones I saw. And they all have 4,000 watch hours already attached to them. And they've been completely stripped down so that you can put whatever content you want. And you kind of start with a springboard. Granted, I think what will happen is after you get it, you'll probably lose like 200 or 300 because they'll be like, that's not the content I agreed to subscribe to. Or if they're docile and non-usable accounts that have just been cycled by some, you know, foreigner in some cafe overseas, yeah, who knows? But you can start off with everything you want, and I'll tell you this much: it's less than the cost of a PlayStation. And I just did the math for 28 days of what I've made on my channel and times it by 12. And if I were to say, okay, I make this much doing nothing on the channel, with that kind of audience, I would still be saving. I would have made, if I bought my own site and did the same, bought one of those sites and did the same thing, which I'm kind of considering to see if it's really worth it, just to tell people like, hey, look, if you're tired of trying to hustle and you just want to skip to the front, here's Alibaba, right? If you don't know what Alibaba is China's Amazon. And on Alibaba, if you dig through that system, there are all kinds of swinging cool deals. There are all kinds of awesomeness on that site, especially if you need like core electronics. You need, you know, you want an Apple iPad without the logo, and actually everything else inside is all Apple, but it's just a Taiwanese built Apple that didn't make it through QC. You can buy them for $60. They'll take you 2 weeks to get here, if not longer, but they're cheap. And in Alibaba, apparently, you can buy your own YouTube channel already with 1,000 subs, already cleared the 1,000 subs, and already cleared the 40K or 4K watch time requirement. Yeah, you can do that. It's on Alibaba, and it costs less than the cost of a PlayStation. And yeah, you have to do conversion from yen to American dollars, but if you just go into Alibaba and change it to US funds, it'll convert all that money for you. So you don't have to try to figure it out, like how many yen to a dollar right now? What's the current trade rate? What's the exchange rate? You know, it'll do it all for you. But yeah, you can find them on Alibaba. I was shocked to find it, and I was even more shocked to find a bunch of them, but I read the terms and agreement for YouTube, and far as I understand, there's no stopping you from legally transferring your channel to someone else, right? There's nothing saying you can't do that. There's also nothing in the terms that says I can't sell my channel to somebody else, right? Or build a channel, get it there, and then sell it, which I think these people do in like 4 or 5 at a time. Maybe they put the effort in to build these sites, and then they scrub them clean, which I didn't know that in your settings, in your YouTube, you can actually go into your YouTube settings and hit a button, and it'll clear everything out of your YouTube and start over. It's like a day one restart. You know, and it just resets your whole entire channel. All the settings and everything you didn't go back to stagnant default. However, you know, your sub count and your your view rate all stay the same because that's a whole different thing that's attached to the channel ID itself. But yeah, you can buy them, and like I said, they're less than $300, right? For one with 1,000, and you can buy some with 5,000 already attached, and they tell you at least 500 people watch per video drop, right? Or at least view the video. They don't say that they actually watch it all. It's like different scams on YouTube. You know, like the newest one I found is the Spurky or Sparkly or whatever you want to call it. It's basically, they try to tell you that it's a viewer group and that you join and you pay $20 and they'll get you 1,500 views. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're too stupid to look up what AdSense charges you per view, you deserve to get fleeced and screwed over, right? Because I've already done AdSense, and I will tell you, for $25, you'll get 1,000 real views and whatever subscribers come from it, right? For $20, right? So why spend the extra $25 on something that's garbage, that you know is garbage, and most likely, like Luca did when he did his review of them, is he actually spent his money and shows that here's $25 spent on this provider that says it's going to get you views and subs, and spending this $25 on AdSense to promote a video. I can actually, let me look that up real quick. I can tell you exactly what it is, guys, for an AdSense account right now. Let's go here. What the conversion is currently for an AdSense. You can take the money you make and just put it back in and promote your channel through AdSense, and that's exactly what I did. The money I made this month on my ads on Google AdSense, I put right back into Google AdSense to promote my channel, right? So if you're thumbing through the YouTube and you see my channel or this lovely little logo with a AdSense next to it, like, Drew's getting ads. I do advertise my channel ever since I became monetized. I selected a couple videos I thought were really good, and I decided to monetize them, or not monetize them, but promote them through the AdSense campaign or Google Ads. And real quick, so you get your views broken down into two buckets. First bucket is how many times people have seen it and how many times people have clicked it, right? So for $25 I've spent, or hold on, let me get you the exact amount here because it's still going. CPV is 7, and I run a daily budget of $1, and that keeps it basically at $30 a month. You can't really make it go any less than that without getting a bunch of red flags, I found. But what I did was, as soon as I spent the $25, I paused everything, just so I could have that group. So for essentially $22.44, right? YouTube will show your video or plaster it on the sides 40,000 times, right? That's 39.9K, right? Have done this, and you get all these wonderful analytics and everything that shows where everything goes, right? And for that same, basically would say the same $25 I promised you, you would get 1,300 clicks, right? Which in fact, Luca shows I paid $25 to get 1,300 views and 5 subscribers. I got 1,300 views, but I still didn't get, he says he still hasn't gotten the subscribers that was promised to him. He did a second payout and thought maybe it was something different. Same thing occurred. He got 1,300 new views to that video, and then he got no subscribers. And the weird part is if you look at he shows clearly in his data, and I'm a data person, you can see that the videos that he paid for, the viewership dives down to, and it just drastically drives. And if you do that, it hurts your channel because it shows that people aren't interested in your content. And if you have a bunch of people drop off right as the video kicks off upon clicking it, here's the big thing that's going to happen to your channel. YouTube's going to default it and say that you're creating clickbait even though you're not, right? And it's going to de-rank you. Just like I read a huge paper today with a bunch of examples of it. You have to be careful. I'm going to tell you guys this now, who are using music that's copyrighted, right? And especially for those of you guys who like hip-hop and rap, right? I myself, I believe the N-word is racist regardless of the color of your skin. It still incites hate, right? Regardless if of the color of your skin of who is saying it, right? If you just listen with your ears, the word itself is hateful, right? So one of the things I just recently read, that YouTube doesn't, as they say, they don't discourage you from doing it because, like the rap videos and stuff get they get constant traffic off of it. But that's because people are looking for that song or that lyric or whatever, and it drives them to the song. You won't have the same transaction if you're a video or producing a video over that where the song is being played that uses the N-word multiple times. YouTube will actually take your video, move it to the side, and it won't put it into any traffic, regardless of how many details you put it on there. There's tons of papers on it right now. The YouTube Analytics just posted the facts behind it, which I thought was really good. Go check out YouTube Analytics if you ever really want to know like real data stuff. I'm actually testing out one of the theories to see like, okay, how legit is their theory? So I applied it on the thumbs up, thumbs down video, and I'm getting near to exactly the same results based on my channel scope, right? You got to remember where your channel sits and where everybody else's sits on the totem pole. You know, Mike Myers, who has that, you have it. It's to say, new here, seeing you on iMonkey's channel. Yeah. So hey, Diego Mister, how are you? Go check out Diego Mister's channel and go hit it up. Yeah, and a lot of those views, you're right, Mike, are bot views, right? And they just click and leave. They don't watch, and that impacts your watch time drastically. If you have 1,000 people watch your video, click on your video, and nobody logs at least a minute, guess what? YouTube says that video is not value add. I have one of those videos that happened to me, and I took it down because regardless of how I set it up, it just came off clickbaity. And it took one of those seconds like, okay, I can see why that comes off a little clickbaity. All right, I'm going to get rid of it. Because it did hurt my channel. It's also one of the reasons why my channel didn't grow for a little while, because I had stuff like that sitting on it, and I didn't know that. But yeah. Hey, what's up, Lulu Love? How are you? Check out Lulu Love's channel. We're just talking about stuff. Before you go, though, please mash that like button for me, but go check out T-Ray. Right here, sorry. He's a local gamer. He's one of Mike Myers' friend. I met him through that channel, and I'm just trying to help him get to 545, and as soon as he does, I'll consider putting somebody else up on the board, and we'll see if we can get them some subs while we're just hanging out, talking YouTube tips, and doing some stuff. I haven't really fired up the retro arcade, but those of you interested on what games are there, you can see what games are scrolling on the YouTube arcade and check it out for yourself. Or if you see a game and you want me to play it through, leave it in the comments. There's 1,500 one of these. I like make content every day. I was strapped for content over the weekend. I couldn't come up with anything fresh. My brain was like moving through mud, so I just played video games all weekend and shout channels out while I was doing it. But yeah, everyone check out Lulu Love's channel. She's a big supporter. She comes around, she checks people out. You know, do it to it. Leave her a comment, let her know what's up, and mash the heck out of that red button for her if you haven't already. Yeah, and you have to skate a very, very thin line with clickbait. I found it funny that iMonkey Expert in her video, she used the clickbait king as part of her clickbait, and we talked about it yesterday, and I thought that was clever. It's like, if you're a YouTube troll, like you're right? You grow up under a rock, you wouldn't know who Rice Gum is, and you wouldn't know that Rice Gum is technically like the clickbait guru, right? So she used the clickbait guru guy on her channel. Like, that's definitely clickbait, but it's funny because you use the guy who's notorious for clickbait as your image, right? So it's kind of like, if you know, you're not unsuspecting, and that's really what it means. Like, if you ever get a video where they believe you've clickbaited, argue it and say, the perception is that it's this, but here's the proof on why I did it. And 9 out of 10 times they'll say, okay, it's not clickbaity, but that one time, that's when you cross that line, and they're like, this is why it's clickbait, because you can't use Justin Bieber went to my school, right? That's clickbait. But if you said Rice Gum went to my school and you have a picture of Rice Gum, that skirts the line, because Rice Gum as a YouTube content creator is a clickbait person, right? So it kind of fits. But hey, hi, Hex Ignite, how you doing, man? Long time no see. Well, not really. I saw you Friday. I think you were on the stream Friday. Thanks for coming and checking me out again. Go check out Hex Ignite. While you're here, Hex, mash that red button for T-Ray up here. We're trying to get him to 545. As soon as he rolls over to 545, we'll put somebody else up on the board. So let's see if we can get this rolling. I know I don't have a whole lot of viewers. My personal goal is not a lot of subs. My personal goal going forward is I would like to get 100 views for 1 hour of streaming, and that's going to be my new tempo. I'm working hard to get there, trying to get as many views, trying to do things to get people to come and watch. One of these is supporting other people, right? and why I like it. So once again, go check out Hex Ignite. We've got a new person here. We've got Spinel Stillis Sue Friend. Check that channel out. He's in the chat. Hit him up. Click the little 3 buttons. Go to channel, not the little flag guy. Go to channel, not the little flag guy. Right? Go to channel. Mash that red button for him. Leave him a comment. Let him know what's up. And if he's one of those people that gets back to you, he gets back to you. If he doesn't, well, hey, I don't get back to people. I'll tell you that. But I will do other things for people who subscribe to my channel. Mainly, I'll throw you up there if you're an avid viewer. You leave cool comments. That's the best way to get to start off. Man, my hat's all crooked today. Or maybe my head's all messed up. Who knows? Shirt's looks like it's a little slanted. It's on, right? But so Alibaba's selling accounts. I researched this to hell and high water today because, like I said, I thought, is this even legal when I posted it? And everything I found on YouTube states this. Nothing stops you from transferring the site to another owner, right? And it is actually a legitimate process because I just thought of this now. Think about like Defy Media and all these companies that just went under. But these are media engines like, Machada and all these things where they sign you up. And I got approached by Machada a long time ago and was like, nope, not doing it. Unless you're going to give me a guaranteed payout, I'm not playing your game of giving you 10% of what I get until you do something for me, right? And basically what you do when you sign up for these guys, like Defy and all of them, they take possession of your site. And they collect all your monetization, they do all that, and then they cut you a check, right? And in some of those, like, one of the things that nobody talked about in the Defy Media contract was that, and the part that a lot of people weren't really saying was that in Defy Media, Defy took your account, right? So if Defy can't go to jail for it and can't be punished for it and YouTube never took them down, why would it be illegal or against the practice to transfer a site? Because a lot of these channels become businesses, right? So somebody builds it and decides they're going to trade it off. So I would say nothing in the details says you can't do it. Like there's nothing that clearly says in the TOCs, and I scanned it, word searched it, copied it all, downloaded it into Wordsmith, and just punched a bunch of questions into it to see if it would find it. It's like basically asking Siri to read a document for you and say, hey, yay or nay.
Just pause for...
All right, real quick, I got to tuck the little one into bed. Yeah, it's the llama shoutout, not the lot of shoutouts.
Let me see these.
Yeah, check this out. Sorry, I'm back. I just had to tuck Dubs into bed. He goes to bed early. Got school in the morning. Let's see here. Where was it when I brought up the shirt? I want a long sleeve. Where is it? I would like to cop one too. On there. Oh, I didn't even see Will was online. Will hopped up. I didn't even catch him. Right. T-Ray's at 541. We're trying to get him to 545.
Cool.
Say hi. They can't see you. That's Missy. That's my fiance.
I'm incognito.
She's hiding out.
I made that shirt.
Yeah, as I told you, she's the one that produces the shirts with the printers. We got it next door. And by next door, I mean the room next door. Not like, yeah, I live in a house and my business is literally like I get out and go next door. I wish. I actually almost considered buying a place that you could work out of at one point in time. But we bought this place instead.
Tell the next one.
Tell the next one, yeah. But, let's see here, yeah. Talk about, yeah.
I subscribed to Mike because I returned his favor.
Oh, okay.
Not that I got content, but he...
Yeah. She just said she finally subscribed back to you, Mike.
I got the email, so...
Yeah, there you go, yeah. She got the email, official email saying you subscribed to her, so she went back and subscribed back to you. And for those of you who don't know this, she, for the longest time, has no content on her channel, and for some odd reason had way more subs than me to her channel for like the longest time, and then out of nowhere they all like just disappeared. I think it was just a fluke in the system. I think it was like 2 days, YouTube had me listed at like 1.8 million across the board, and it was a major glitch. I still think it was what made my channel like blow up real quick, but yeah, I long since took that all back. Yeah, I wouldn't though. Yeah, I know, I wouldn't. Oh yeah, she did a good job. Yeah, she did. T-Ray, yeah, check out T-Ray. Tell your kid good night. Anyways, it's an intellectual property case. It might be okay for YouTube to put you in the long run, but it might be a case for you getting your account in the case of it getting big. Yeah, and that's the whole point. Is like, if you're selling it or you're transferring it, it's really not YouTube's business, the way I see it. And nothing in their terms says you can't sell your content. You can't sell it. That's the same thing like Solomon Madrid said when the YouTube House of Cards started to fall apart, as he called it. That's back when the first wave of monetization, the ad apocalypse occurred, as he called it. Syndicate your content. Put your content on any platform that'll accept it. And then that prevents it from YouTube being your only source. And he's on Minds, he's on, what is it? Minds, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. He's almost on every social media platform with the same content. So like the same video shows up on his Facebook that shows up on his Minds account, and then the same photos that come off of his Imager or whatever it's called account goes on the other one. What's up to yeah, Ignite? Well, you have a good one, Ignite. Everyone check out Hex Ignite's channel. If you like what you see, mash that red button. Leave him a comment. Let him know what's up. All right? Yeah, and I think it's, like I said, if you're interested in that, it's on Alibaba. Just type in YouTube channels. And you have to kind of do some digging because there's like people on Alibaba that sell you like, you can buy 1 million views. Views, that seems quite suspect. You know, but there's stuff on it because Alibaba is not all of Alibaba, so you guys know I don't recommend using Alibaba for purchases unless you know who your seller is and you've dealt business with them before, or you know somebody who has, unless you live in China, right? But because then you can't use in China, you can't use Amazon. Amazon's banned from China. They have Alibaba, and that's why I said Alibaba is the Chinese version of Amazon. You won't find certain products on Alibaba that you'll find abundantly on Amazon because however it's regulated won't allow it. But however you can find, there is like Amazon has the no knockoffs rule that, you know, a lot of people violate anyways because you can find Folkleys all over Amazon, right, if you look. But yeah, you can, Alibaba sells fake Oakleys. They even say they're fake imitation Oakleys, right? To the same point, they'll tell you exactly in some of these, like one of them, everything is legit except for the lens, right? Or you can buy Ray-Bans without the lenses, and if you don't understand Ray-Bans, all your money is in the lens, not in the hardware. Like, you know, the frame, it's actually the lens that you're paying for. And yeah, that's one of those things, but no, it's not wrong. I do it. Ever since I got monetized, I have an account. I wanted to see what it was all about, and I'll tell you right now, you know, it's all hot garbage. If you go look up Luca and Spunkix, he spent $50 to basically tell him to lick asshole, right? As he put it, he's like, I got effed and I didn't even get a kiss goodnight, right? My saying is, if you're going to do that to me, at least give me a reach around. It's kind of like basically they just took his money, and he did in fact get the 13. They promise you anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300 views. He got 1,300 on both videos, both like 1,305, 1,343, but not 1,400. You know, so he got the views. He got 0 subs out of both the transactions, where you're promised 1,000. It says at a minimum 1,000 views and 5 subscribers. He didn't get any of those. Right, he got 1,000 but no subscribers. He got 1,300 plus but no subscribers, And yeah, no lunch, nothing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're not even going to take me out to dinner first, man? You're just going to take me out in the back and bend me over and just work it. You know, right? That's basically what happened to the dude. But he talks about it. I looked into it. I use AdSense. YouTube will not punish you for using AdSense to promote your content. Now, you can't double dip, right? So I have a video that I promoted through AdSense. It has approximately, I think, 800 views now, and I promoted it out the gate. It's actually a video. If you go through my library, you're like, when did you make that video? And how come you never talk about it? The reason why I didn't want to talk about it and I didn't list it, because you know you can publicly list them, you put something private, or you can leave it unlisted. It's listed unlisted. It's in my inventory. If you can find the video that has the ad, I might give you a prize, because it's not easy to spot it in your video. But yes, you can use YouTube to promote your video. One thing you can't do with it is use a YouTube video to promote another channel. I tried to do that for somebody else, and I recently got the email saying the reason why it took so long for us to approve this transaction is because it violates the following rules. And you can't, I don't understand why you can't pay to promote, be a content creator and pay to promote another content creator with your money. I mean, it's my money, I'm spending it. What if I wrote the dude a check and told him, hey, use this to pay your AdSense account to promote your channel? But I can't just do it directly. I thought that was really, because one of the things I wanted to do was like, hey, I'll promote your channel and I'll pay for it to be promoted for a whole entire month. Was one of the things I thought about doing. But you can't do that, right? And you can't, the sad part is you can't use, if Google Ads could be paid with Google Play cards, that would be beautiful, because I could do that. Because like if you get an iTunes card, you can use the iTunes money, if you're doing it from your phone, to super chat people, right? And it comes out of your iTunes account instead of a credit card, right? Which is handy, right? Because you can create a cashless transaction without a card, right? Yeah, and it's weird. But no, you can do it. I've done it. I've not been penalized for it. I've had no penalties for it. I've gotten subscribers from it. I've actually gotten viewers from it, which I thought was really great, because the neat thing that Luca showed on his, although he got 1,300 views, he got not even a minute of watch time on a video that he solely produced for the ad to be put on. Right, so he did the similar thing where he did one where he took a video that he had before that had some video draw to it and then promoted that through that agency. And it got 13 something, but he didn't get any subs. So he thought, oh, maybe it's because it's a newer video. It's an older video. It didn't get the subs. So he went and paid another $25, which I would have never have done, to this company. And they gave him another 1,300 views, but no subs. And he made a video specifically to have that be campaigned by them. And long story short, none of them got any watch time. None of them got the conversion he was looking for. I didn't promote my channel for my boyfriend. I promoted my channel I made for him, just to clarify. Yeah. No, yeah, it's one of those things, yeah. It's to say. You could do it. I would, if you want to try it and you've got the extra $20 or $25, go for it. I will tell you this much. You'll need at least $50 available to open your AdSense account, because they're going to ping a credit card. But here's the catch. The card they use isn't the card they're going to put on file. So you can use the card to ping it for the $50, and then it'll refund it back. And then you can do what I did, where I have a small budget account that I use to pay my AdSense with. And I just put money on that, and I don't have to worry about getting racked up. And you can set it that way that you pay in advance, because when you set up your account and you do the 50, they'll ding you the 50 and then disperse it back to you, so you don't actually charge $50 on your credit card. They'll charge you $50 to verify the credit card and then give it back to you in, I think it's like 48 hours. And this is Google, not this other company. This is actually like, Google Ads. They refund you the money, and the account becomes active, and then they ask you like how you want to pay. And the neat part is if you did what I did, you can actually set up the account, and Google, if it's the first time you've ever set up an AdSense account under that email, they will give you a $100 credit, right? Depending on when you sign up. And you spend $25 to get a $100 credit. I spent $25. I have a $100 credit to use for other advertisement. and I think you have to use it in like the next 90 days. So I got to turn something on, or I might make another ad to see, just to confirm my data 100%. But what I found was the Google views that you get, those are people actually watching your content. The other thing that Google offers that these other people don't offer is impressions, right? So for instance, I spent $23 and some change. I said it earlier. And because I originally was trying to only spend $20, but it's really hard to just cap yourself at $20 unless you only have $20 in that account. Like I said, I spent $25 to start everything, and I have a $100 credit. I've done a few other things with that credit that you can do through the Google AdSense world, and I have I think $70 left. They're supposed to refund me back $15 because of the campaign I tried to do for somebody else under my account, which is apparently a no-no, and I don't understand why, but it's actually really, really cheap. So you pay for the click, not the impression, right? I bid my clicks at anywhere from 2 cents to 5 cents. So that gets you anywhere from, we'll just say at the 5 cent mark, that's 20 views, right? For $1, right? On top of the impressions that show up. So there's a lot of times where people see the ad and they don't touch it, but they see the ad, right? And that's the neat part, because that gets you exposure. Because I don't naturally show up in people's columns that don't watch me, but this gains me exposure, and it worked. I recently, after I hit 1,000 subs, and if you look at my community tab, I had a major dip in subscribers, and a lot of it was because, there were sub for sub accounts, there was people who subbed to me and didn't watch or don't watch my content, or they're called idle accounts, however you want to read the instructions on how YouTube divides what type of users what users and what gets removed from your account upon monetization. So I had a huge dip more than once, and I honestly believe that using the ad campaign, plus I produce content every day, I'm out here hustling every day, trying to help people like T-Ray here. If you haven't already subscribed to T-Ray, we're trying to get him to the 545 mark. My fan in this thing has jammed up because it's made in China, and I will power it back on, and it should stop making the boom boom noise. We're at 1 hour and 22. I'm going to go for another 8 minutes. Hopefully we can get T-Ray to the 45-minute mark. But yeah, I enjoy the conversation with you guys. This is, what makes life fun around here. If you're still in the chat, let me know you're still in the chat. Say hi. We'll see what we can get going for you guys. But like I said, please like that. Notice how it was brown and then it went blue. I don't know if it's another. So the cam link that I'm using to do this with, if that toast out, I'm done with Elgato. Like, Elgato needs to go to El Garbageo, right? Because that means I spent $180 on an HD60S that didn't last me 8 hours of streaming, and now I've spent I spent $119 on the cam link, and the cam link did what I needed to do for what I spent, so I can't really say I lost money on the deal. But if it craps out on me like it's doing now, where it totally mismatched the color for a second, right? Elgato can go pound sand for all I care, right? But yeah, it's there. Go, by the way, my buddy Mike Myers 86 is there. Go check out his channel, mash that like button, hit that red subscribe button, and do him a really good solid. He's not looking for people just to subscribe and just to leave him a comment. He really needs people to view his content so he can hit 4K. He is just under the 4K mark. Help him out. If you're not doing anything with your phone and you're not doing this, and this is what I encourage, if you really, really want to help each other out and you network well and you're not doing anything with your device, like right now I have it here because normally I get text messages and stuff from people that know me, will ask me a question. I'm not getting any right now. But generally, what I would suggest there is if you're not doing anything with your phone and it's plugged in and it's still going to get a charge, hit someone's playlist that you're friends with, help them out, ask them to do the same. There's nothing absolutely wrong with it. You're not telling people to click ads. You're not telling people. You're just telling people, hey, watch my content when you got nothing else better to do. You're not breaking the rules doing that, right? And that is, and run that playlist. Just play a playlist for somebody. You want to help somebody else out. I do it. Mike will tell you. I've done it for him. I'm one of the weird people. If you subscribe to me, I may not immediately subscribe back to you because I tend to stalk people. I tend to scope people out and check them out. And Mike will tell you, I watched him for, about a month, right? About a month. And I promote him on my channel and everything like that. But only up until recently, when him and I started talking about YouTube partnering and he's looking for a YouTube partner, no, I'm not a good enough gamer, or I'm not a regular gamer to game with him. And I know what he's looking for. I've watched him play. He's a good caliber player. He's definitely tournament ready. So if you're looking for somebody to YouTube partner with that isn't going to be like, I'm Mr. Big Shot, you don't have my time. He gives everybody fair time. Go check him out. You know, right? I encourage and promote other people that are like that. If you have an example and you show examples like that when I'm not watching you, or you don't think I'm watching you, or this, that, and the other, and I catch on that you're like that, or you help other people grow their channel, or help people get with information to help them, like, you know, not make the same mistake, or, you know, hey, don't do that. It's not good for your channel. Or, hey, you know, here's a good way to help. This guy helps people out. Go talk to him. You know, I'm the same way. If you're in my community, you'll see that I post content to other people's channel. I pick a random subscriber every now and then and, like, see, oh, you dropped something new, boom. Hey, X, I know you can't stay long, but thanks for showing up. I really appreciate X. We're going to get X some content soon, for those of you who aren't aware. Xavier Henderson is my nephew. He has no content on his channel, absolutely zero, but he has subscribers. We're going to sit down at some point, and, you know, I feel bad as an uncle. Here I am. I have all the cameras. I have all the equipment. I'll go out and film his content for him and help him edit it so that he has something on his channel, but we haven't gotten together to go do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's another thing. To Mike's defense, and to endorse Mike again, he does do that. He does shout-outs on his channel, and we had this debate, to each their own, right? Some things work for some people, some things don't work for other people, but don't naysay what somebody else says or may not. Other than, I will tell you right now, sub for subbing and sub swapping and all those other, you know, crafty little deeds, they're short-term gains. They have long-term consequences, right? I'm not disencouraging anybody from doing it. Like I said, I don't do it. I have a clear statement that I don't do a sub for sub, but I do explore people's content. I do watch content a lot. I do check people out. And those that know me and you're live streaming, and I notice that you're live streaming, I'll jump on your stream just to say hi. You know, I'm like, I'm just here to watch, help such and such. People are like, hey, why aren't you subscribing? Why aren't you doing this? Like, dude, I'm only here to watch Mike's channel. I'm only here to help, you know, Tia and family. I'm only here to help people from the tree trimming community to watch, because I'm part of that community, right? Not as much as Mike is. Mike is a major player in that community. I'd like to be a major player in that community. If you can get me a hat tip from T there, I'd like to work with him. There's a few things I saw on his channel that I'd love to get like 20 minutes of his time. Say, hey, dude, if you did this and you did this, it would help you get to that 1,000 subs an hour, or 1,000 views every 2 hours mark, because he's averaging about 420, 500 an hour. And there's just a few things that I know that if you do them, they instantly improve, and if you're not doing them right away. Night, Xavier, you have a good night. Yeah, there you go. Just makes it known that you are in there. Yep, exactly. To be there and support people, and that means a lot when, you know, people are like, hey, shout me out on my channel. You don't ever watch my channel, right? I still shout out anybody who comes in and asks for it, because it's just fun in games. You know, right? At the end of the day, it's just fun in games, right? And if you stay positive and you have a good outlook, and you're just, you know, not bitter, and you're not like bravado, like, oh, I have more subs than you, I know everything. You know, it's like, dude, nobody knows everything. I'm just more willing to share the information I've learned along my journey. And I've been on YouTube 4 years now, right? And taking it seriously for 2 of the 4, right? If you count, actually 5 years if you count when my first video, my first little, hey, this is my YouTube video. This is how you do a triangle, right? An arm triangle or a triangle choke, or, you know, I forget what it was. My first video was on like a simple jiu-jitsu move, and I knew nothing about jiu-jitsu. It was actually I was just the victim in it, but it was showing people like, hey, this is such and such, and he does jiu-jitsu, and this is me getting put into this thing, you know? And that was a video I produced a long time ago. So if you really want to count from when that's 5 years ago. If you want to count from when I took it seriously, it's about 2 years ago. 2017 was probably when I finally started taking YouTube seriously. I made an initial push on YouTube in 2016 and was monetized for a short period of time before Mr. Logan decided to go into the Suicide Force and start filming. But yeah, it is like that, anyone, and here's an honest to truth thing, right? If you notice that people who do content and channel reviews don't look at the content itself anymore, they look at what's in the data and like what's there, there's a reason for that, right? And I notice this from all the professionals, and that's why I don't get in the trap, is when you formulate your opinion on someone's content, it is just that, your opinion, right? And my opinion and your opinion have no effect on how well a video will do. How do you have an effect on a video once it's produced? A, putting in the details. B, putting in tags that'll help people find your channel. And C, arranging your channel tags as in the way you would search for your channel, right? Is the best tip I can tell people to improve your watch time, to improve your views. And go out and check out people that will get your channel exposure in a fair context. I don't recommend going to people's streams like, hey, I'm live, because that'll get you banned on my channel with the quickness. And a lot of YouTubers now, that's an immediate API, right? Which means as soon as they see that phrase and the API catches it, it automatically locks them, blocks them, and now you can actually make it report them if you have over 10,000 subscribers. And for those of you who like wake up one morning and you're like, hey, what happened to my channel? It's probably because you said something to somebody who has one of those APIs and it automatically reported you. And if they have 10,000 or more views, you get offline for 7 days. I don't agree with that your bravado of your channel gets to punish people who are trying to make it. But at the same point, as somebody who knows like the monetization and how that works, that can have a direct impact. Like I personally only do it because I don't want people to think they can get away with it on my channel. I generally just put people on timeout, and that kind of makes them go away, and they can come back later. But yeah, that's the only thing that I really, and being hateful, like straight up hate. Like I'm not talking about like you just dissing on me, making fun of me, but if you start bringing in the hate or the race, goodbye, right? Because one, I'm not white, I'm Asian. I look really, really white, but I'm Filipino. Which is funny. Or as KSX Tex will tell you, Tao Hilao. Right? So, yeah. It's there. Hey, what's up, Hex Ignite? Glad to see you're back. I didn't see you pop in the first time. Sorry, I was rambling. It's really hard for me to catch the chat. Eventually, I will fix the problem, and I can be able to put chat on my main screen so I can see it. Right now, I have to look at the OBS and then look over on the chat, and they're not on the same peripheral versus before when I was like, you can hear the chat kept showing up here. It's now on the other side. But as I was mentioning before, it's one of those things you overcome. Eventually, I'll get the chat added into the stream directly. I have to fix it and rewrite it. I use Catalina. I'm hoping that tomorrow I can get in. I believe Husa Studios has their Tech Tuesday tomorrow. I'm going to try to get on their Tech Tuesday and see how he bypassed it, because I found out how to bypass this problem through another YouTuber and a coworker. So, yeah, it works. Yeah, I look white, as all snow. I'm actually Filipino. I'm white and American, but if you look at me, I'm chilling, eating an oatmeal pie. Oh, oatmeal cream pie, like Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie. There are two things when I was in Iraq, people would like straight up consider murdering you for: a box of Cheez-Its, and for some reason like the oatmeal cream pie. Those are like the things that you couldn't get at the PX, you couldn't find anywhere. But dude, when somebody got it, people were like, "Dude, you got oatmeal cream pies? What you trading? I'll give you like $20 for one." Like what? Yeah, when you're over there, people will straight up. When I was in Iraq, man, people would, for like, you miss stuff, man. Like you're out there 18 months in the desert. Come month 13, you're like, dude, I can't even remember what fried chicken smells like. Let alone remember what it tastes like. That kind of stuff. So that's one of those things, man. Like those things will stand out in my head. That and tuna. Oh, when I remember being in the field, and I used to pack the little tuna pouches with me because it's a quick power snack. Right? And then they take the water out of it, so it's like you just basically squirt some mayo in there, throw in some relish, and just eat it with a spoon. You kid you not, you're sitting there, everybody's on the firing line. you smell gunpowder, everybody's ears are ringing, and all of a sudden you're like, do I smell tuna? Like tuna fish, you know, right? Not the tuna like people go, I smell tuna, and you think it's something else, you know, right? But yeah, it was like, dude, do I smell tuna? It's like, Sergeant Reese has got tuna. Hey, Sergeant Reese, where'd you get tuna at? I'm like, dude, if you get some crackers, you can have some tuna. Yeah, right? Go get yourself some MRE crackers and you can have some tuna with me. And I literally just, like, my team and I were sitting there and we just, like, scooping up eating tuna, and people like, walk by, like, how do you get tuna out here? Like, Sergeant Reese packs, like, a 12-pack with him, you know? I used to be a lot bigger. I used to, at one point in time, my heaviest I ever was 195 pounds, and I had approximately like 9% body fat. I was under 10%. And I used to lift, eat, and patrol every day for a year. And through the course of that, I swelled up, and the other time I really swelled up was when I did boxing, and my coach and training team at the time had a mandatory requirement that everybody did CrossFit in the morning as part of their morning workout, which I agree. CrossFit is the great, like, agility builder when done right. You know, now you got this, like, the CrossFit game stuff. That's kind of weird. But, like, CrossFit in its core infancy and its core dynamic is about agility training and different, you know, strength and power endurance exercises, which are great for somebody who's a fighter or combative, a professional combative. You know, that means boxer, MMA, karate, however you want to call it. They're all part of that same thing. But when you're managing your weight and you put on 20 pounds of muscle after 2 months of CrossFit, and you're like, I'm supposed to be fighting at like 115, so like, yeah, you can't be doing CrossFit anymore. So yeah. You're 205, 5'11". Can you guess how much I weigh? I'm the same height as you. I may have said how much I weigh now in prospects of trying to get to 195 pounds. But not to spoil it for you, I weighed 140 pounds before I got sick. And I'm talking about a couple weeks ago, I got sick and I really wasn't hungry. I couldn't put anything down and keep anything down. And every time I ate something, it made me nauseous. So I wasn't able to complete my load up. So I have to restart my load up, which means I got to wait till payday to buy what I need to do. Hey, if you keep doing the tips, like talk to like iMonkey Expert and some of those people that have watched my channel and applied a lot of them. They've gone up further. Once I can get the color correction, I can get the monitor back up over here because I can hot loop it in. It comes out really color weird this time. I don't know. I swear it's the Elgato products are like garbage. But I'll get people up there. Like I said, we're trying to get, hopefully before we cut out of here, we can get T-Ray to 542. But we're going to start bringing this back. It's going to be singular. I'm not going to do the 6-pack anymore. That's just a headache and a half to get one of these to work. Right now it is painful. You're 15 pounds off. I was 140 when I weighed myself to start packing to 195. Like I said, I got sick. I got to get back to my 10,000 calorie a day intake, because that's the only way I'm going to put any weight on this skinny frame of mine. I have to eat like crazy. On top of already eating like crazy, I mean, I eat all the time. Yeah, I play Fortnite. I already got my... I'm not impressed with this season. I'll tell you right now. This season is so weak. It's not even fun to play. I don't find it a challenge. I literally... the day the season, or you want to call it Chapter 2 or Season 11 came out, I got off of here. My son had already loaded up the PlayStation downstairs because we were running the VR down in there so he could play. Because normally we play VR in here. That's why there's nothing behind me. But I was streaming, and the plan was to stream. So he was playing down there. After my stream, I went down. He was sitting there, and he was struggling. And I just kind of watched what was going on. And I was like, oh, you know what? This is what you need to do. I think this is a good way to exploit this. And he's like, well, you show me. And I'm like, all right. Popped it into solo, and I had to even take a picture of it because it was my first game in Fortnite for this season without a warm-up, without playing anything, just hopping on. And if you look in my community tab, you'll find that I have I got this year's Raining Umbrella, right? If you haven't seen it, it's a little umbrella, and cranked it on solo. Dubs has got, like, I think since he's been playing more actively, and I kind of showed him the secret on how to get the easy win, right? I scrap play on Fortnite. People hate me for it, but I'm a strategic player. I play to win. So I don't engage people right out the gate. Unless you catch me, then I'm going to fight you. But most of the time, I'll hang around and watch people duke it out, wait for one person to kill the other person, then I go sweep in a scrap kill. Yeah, some people are like, yeah, you're gay, you're lame, you're a loser. Hey, I've got more tournament wins, so I don't really care because you're not writing my checks. Yeah, right, is my answer. The people who write my checks don't say I'm cheating. They're going to keep writing me checks. Well, yeah. Yeah, I what a lot of people don't realize is I'm the original guy riding your mom. Up until about 3 years ago, I used that moniker after my son started playing, and then he hopped on my account. I didn't think it was appropriate to have that as my call sign anymore, so I switched it to Joker64 and Prophet6. And yeah, I still have my, if you watch some of the videos where I spin the tour of the studio or you see me cutting through the house, you'll see some of the wins that I have. They're sporadically placed throughout the house because they're cool little trophies, but unless you know what they are, they're there. I'm not as good as I used to be. I'm really, really rusty. That's why I said the Fortnite this season, for those who play a lot, will tell you it's not that strong. I think a lot of people, initially what happened was the going away turned people away. There's a lot of people who are on the fence about continuing to play Fortnite, right? Especially a lot of pros are like, yeah, Ninja's never going to leave because Ninja is only good at Fortnite. He sucks at everything else. I don't know how you can call yourself a professional player. You play one game, bro, and you're good barely at it, right? You got lucky because you found a way to get fucking Dre to show up on your channel, and now you're infamous. But guess what? You're still a sucky player, and that's why you don't come to Call of Duty. You don't come to pubs. You don't come to anything real. You just stay in Fortnite, right? Yeah, so if you want to play me, Ninja, come to my world, and I'll stomp you, right? Because I'll show you what a real player would do. Just like Dr. Disrespect did to you, I will do worse. I won't use it, and I'll wrap it in sandpaper first, right? Because I don't believe you should call yourself a professional gamer or say or allowed to be called a professional gamer if you're only good at one game and you've only ever won at one game, right? I used to play StarCraft like crazy when I was in Asia, so yeah. Yeah, Ninja, and that's why he faded out. Like, if you notice, like, Ninja's not popular anymore. He's sold out, and I will tell every one of you guys, never be objective to selling out, right? Because those opportunities are far and few between, and if you ever have the opportunity to sell out and make as much money as you can, because when that bubble bursts, man, it bursts quick, but yeah, that's really what it is. And get at it, play a lot of games, find out what you're good at, get in good grades, and play a lot if you really, really want. Funny, I have a video of me. If you go, like, you have to go to Drew Uncensored, but you'll see when I played Dr. Disrespect on Drew Uncensored, I curbed him, and it shows me on his channel curbing him. But he also makes fun of me, too, because if you know the old get-up, how many people remember my old get-up from my old channel? Any of you guys remember that old get-up? Now, some people, when I show you this photo, you're like, that's him? And you're like, oh, my Lord. Someone donated to him. Dr. Disrespect? Dr. Disrespect's a cool dude in real life. Like, if you meet him at, like, an econ or anything, like, that dude is, like, straight up cool, man. He keeps character. Don't get me wrong. Like, he'll be like, yeah, where's your mother at? Huh? Tell me where your mom's at. I want to meet your mom. I don't want to meet you. Where's your mommy? He does that stuff for real. Like, he's a great dude in person. He's a fun guy. Like, I totally agree why he's famous and what he is. But he's not a two-time champion. He's not the two-time Blockbuster champion. If you look it up, the year that he claims he won it was the 2 years that they didn't have it. It's a fun little thing. Like, a lot of people know, like, if you read his bio, it's like he's a two-time Blockbuster video game champion. No, he's not. But you'd have to look it up to find it. But he's a funny dude, and he's a great gamer. Where is it? Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. I gotta find it here. Trying to find the photo because it's funny. I know it's on my phone because somebody sent it to me and was like, is this you? And I'm like, yep. I was like, where'd you find this? Like, it took a minute, but I found it on the internet. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. Where is it? I know it's in here because I saw it in here and I kept it, but it's an older photo. The Majestic Wolf YouTube. Well, go check out the Majestic Wolf YouTube. I don't condone drinking underage, but everybody needs to understand their alcohol tolerance, and the only way you can do that is consuming alcohol. And I'm an old school kid. If your mom and dad are cool with it, it's not my business. Right? I grew up in the 80s. I learned about drinking beer and getting drunk with my parents going, here, try this. Now you know what alcohol tastes like. Like, why do I feel funny? Because that's what alcohol does to you. You know? Or if you're going to drink, you can drink here. Don't go over to your friend's house and drink because I don't know what their parents are going to do. You know? But that's common for Asian households. When I was in the Philippines, you could just go down to the store and get a beer. It didn't matter how old you were. Where is that photo? I know it's in here because I had it in here. Where the heck is it? There it is. There's the better one. How many people know who that guy is? Oh, that's the actual original. Well, then, there you go. Took a tiny sip. That's parental control. I have no objections to that. If your parent allows you to do that, that's your parent. Between you and your parents' business. I don't see why anybody should be affected. I'm an old school kid though. I'm a 1980s kid. That was very common when we were growing up. Was like, what's that taste like? Well, try it. And like, yeah, that's what alcohol is. Know that. I'm like, okay. It is what it is. But while you're at it, check out Majestic Wolf. And yeah, it's me, but do you know who that character is? Do you know what channel that used to be? That's the fun part. That's the original guy riding your mom. Yeah, like I said, then it's not a big deal. Mike's a parent. I'm a parent. My daughter is 17, and the first alcohol beverage she ever had was here in this house, under direct supervision, because she's around people who drink, school parties. We can pretend like that doesn't exist in high school, but it does. And I didn't want her, she would know exactly what it tasted like, knows exactly how it makes her feel, so that if she felt like that, she knew that somebody was inebriating her, or she had gotten inebriated and she needed to call one of us. Right? That's kind of how, yeah, it was a character I did on YouTube for a while. And then I kind of strayed away from it because when I did this channel and then I went back to that, people were like, you're from that channel. Like, okay, if you believe that, all right. And at that point I kind of got tired of doing it. That's kind of why I had to shut that channel down and start a new channel, because that channel, and if you watch like previous stuff with me, a lot of the gamer people came on like, oh, you're that guy. And then I had Drew Uncensored, and a lot of people came over there thinking I was going to do that same gimmick again. And it gets old. Like I said, I give it hats off to Dr. Disrespect to hold that character as long as he can and as often as he can. But I think in his case, because he has a family and he has all that stuff that he tries to keep separated from YouTube and that identity, it makes it really easy. But people already knew like me and knew that was like how I dressed up to play in tournaments to, I was always worried about people like, oh, you play video games? We don't need you in this company anymore. I would, and I want to, but wearing the wig, wearing the hat, wearing the sunglasses, all that stuff gave me a headache and a half. I can't do live gameplay right now. I can stream through my PlayStation, but I choose not to because I know some tricks in the PlayStation world that I don't like, and somebody who's an adult who understands and wants to play like stompy stomp games, you can do it through someone's YouTube account or through their thing. But I can play like this. I was originally going to play the old school arcade and like do something like maybe play some Street Fighter or something. That was a consideration of mine. And as I said, I thought I was going to do that one. one tier. I don't know. I'd have to try it. I'm not a fan. Like I said, I don't like the way the streaming environment works because you can't always see your chat and you can't always see what people are doing when you're playing and streaming through your device. The other is, like I said, I know how to... Once you create that peer-to-peer connection or that stream gate opens on your PlayStation, there's about a bazillion ways somebody can backdoor into your account and get all your information. Which, you know... To be honest, if anybody truly wants your stuff, you know, it's not protected. You know, a motivated criminal is a motivated criminal. You know, that's just how it is. It's a fact of life. But no, I just choose not to. Plus, I do have the gaming channel, and I just haven't really had the knack to do it and play. I like doing these old school arcades because it brings back the nostalgia of me playing. Yeah, you can. You have to slow down your bit rate, and you have to do a few things. And I've tried doing it on my PlayStation Pro, and it's just aggravating. But like I said, I'd rather do like the OBS style where you can do cameras and all that stuff. If you've seen my old rig for gaming, I had 3 cameras, right? I had one on... All 3 were facing me at 3 different angles, but you got almost a full wide angle out of it of my room. And it was pretty cool. It was fun. It was a little bit of overkill. And then I kind of switched down to 1 camera and then doing that. But I like having this setup because I can control like the screen size where I am, positioning, rearrange things, put all this extra stuff on. Like I can put the people who, you know, support my channel with money. Like iMonkey, Underfed Coyote, Mike Myers. You donate even $1 to this channel, I will put your banner up there, and it'll stay up there until they come down as a whole. I may do one for the rest of the, make this one out for the rest of the year. I may just leave it open because it's cool. It's nice to help people. If you give me your hard-earned money, the least I can do is advertise your channel on a long-term scale for you. He is still at 542. We need 3 more. I have a giveaway. Dude, we have a big giveaway. Hex. I have a very, very, very big giveaway. You want to know what that giveaway is? November 1st, 1 winner will receive, get ready, here we go, because it's a pretty big one, a $10 PlayStation Store gift card, a $15 Xbox card. And if you don't have Xbox, find a friend that does. I have a brand new Xbox still in the box. I don't even play Xbox, right? A $15, $25 Amazon card. That's the 10, 15, 25 that started this giveaway. So there's the $25 Amazon gift card, a $10, $15, a $15 iTunes card, and a $10 iTunes card. So that's $25 in iTunes, $15 in Xbox, $10 in PlayStation, and a $25 in Amazon, right? Yep. You know what's funny? If you pay attention to my live streams, I did... like how many? And you can see, so I've done like multiples of these, and yes, they're scratched off because I've read the codes. And like 1, see that one? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of those that I have that I've used. And why am I keeping them? Taxes. Right? Tax deductions. Anything you spend is a tax deduction. Right? So once again, November 1st, I will be giving away to the winner let's do this in the right order, a $10 Sony PlayStation Store gift card, a $15 Xbox gift card, a $25 Amazon gift card, and a $15 iTunes gift card on top of a $10 iTunes gift card, right? So how do you get in? Real easy. Go to my channel and go to if you're a subscriber, you'll see upcoming events. November 1st is the announcement for that winner. go to that video, and in there's instructions on what you can do, and it's real simple. The ones that are available to you now are still available. That is, be a subscriber to my channel, automatically gets you 1 entry, right? If you had the opportunity to join the Foot Clan while the Foot Clan was open, that got you a 2nd entry. Now, how to maximize your entry, pay close attention. If you leave the comment 10, 15, 25, let's grow on any of my videos prior, right? You get 1 entry for 1 comment per video. There are 520 plus videos. There are people, as you go to do this, have already got ahead of the curve on you, but there are still some that people are catching up and people are doing it. All you have to do is leave that on there. I will receive the notice, I'll heart your notice, and I'll check your notice, right? Or like your notice. That gives you the indication you got the entry, right? You can get up to 500 something of them. I believe iMonkey Expert, I'd have to look and search it, but she's currently the leader with the most entries because from day one she's been hitting every one of my videos up, and she's done all the other things to the point that she actually found one of the side challenges for a $10 gift card. There's still one more floating around. Xavier won the other giveaway. He got a 10. He had the choice, and he took the money. He had the offer of getting a brand new one of the first run shirts, not the long sleeves, but a t-shirt. He had the opportunity to get that instead because he's my nephew. I was like, you can have the shirt or I can give you the money that the shirt cost. And he's like, I'll just take the money, Uncle. I'm like, all right, here you go. You know, and it's on that. It's listed on November 1st. And on November 1st, I'll hit the selected winner and we'll announce who wins. And that person will receive this. There's going to be probably 2 more prizes added. I would probably add another prize on Wednesday. What I'm trying to do, and I'll let you guys know, as soon as a video hits 50 likes, any of my videos has a 50 like ratio, I'll add another gift card. It can most likely will either be a Walmart, Target, or iTunes. I won't do any more PlayStation or Xbox because if the winner is an Xbox player, it's not going to do me any good to have 2 PlayStation cards, and vice versa. If you have an Xbox and you don't have an Xbox, what's the point of $30 worth of Xbox? Plus, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, Xbox, this is one of the reasons why you suck. A person has to spend $15 to get a card when most of the transactions are $9.99 for microtransactions or less. So why would somebody do this? And also because Xbox sucks. Right? I'm not a fan of Microsoft products, although I use them every day at work. If it was my choice, my company would never have a Microsoft product, right? We'd gut it because Microsoft is just that, a sucky system, right? You know why nothing works on nothing that's highly important runs off of Windows? Because Windows is not reliable. Yeah, and then so that's the thing, like having the PlayStations and all that stuff. So I'll have the 2 there, but we'll add different things like more universal stuff, which was what people recommended was like, if you want to really get a good audience going, people say Amazon was the best gift card to give away at a small scale, which how do you do these? You scratch them off, you read off the number, that's what you do. In this case, I'll reach out to the winner and just mail it all to them. But yeah, they're all here. That's essentially, let's see here. What do we have here? We've got 10, 15, that makes 25. There's another 25, that's 50, plus another 25. So that's $75 worth of gift cards that we'll be giving away. And if you've been on my stream, you already know that my giveaways are not a scam. They're not a trick. There's no trickery involved. I straight up just do what I say I'm going to do. And in this case, for the lot, we will most likely mail them all out, or I will just ask the person if they want me to email them all the codes. And then at that point, I'll just scratch them all off and email them all the codes. Or some people say, mail me the original cards. I'll mail them the original card. Yeah, so those are things that you can do. That's on November 1st. Like I said, that's a subscriber giveaway. And yes, I know that a lot of people will unsubscribe after the results are done, but that's the name of the game, man. It's par for the course. It's pre-expected, but I would appreciate if people stuck around. However, I will do more giveaways after that. I used to do more routine ones, but I found that, and this is one of the things that I think is really sad, is the people who complained and got my stuff taken down and got, complained about when I did the last giveaway, and got it taken down before we could even do the giveaway. They come from turdy channels. They come from people who have like 15,000 subs or 5,000 subs, and all of their subs are fake. Nobody watches. How do you spot a fake channel that has a high subs count? They have a very high subs count, but they have views like you and I get, like 10, 15 on a stream at best. And that, when you stream for 9 hours and you get 15 views, I'm just going to say it, and I hate to hurt people's feelings, you suck, right? You suck even more when you have 5,000 plus subscribers and you can't get more than 10 people to watch your stream. Why? Because you spent the time to fake a bunch of counts and fake a bunch of subscribers, and what it got you nowhere, right? And those are the people who hate it life, right? What's up, Caleb410? How are you doing today, man? Everybody go check out Caleb410. We're going to do this real quick. All right, if you're still in the chat, let me know you're in the chat. We're going to do some shout-outs. I didn't realize it's already 9:30. I had a long day at work, and then I came in here and did this. I haven't even actually taken I did take a shower. All right, I had to check. That's bad, right? That if I took a shower when I came home from work, and I work 9 hours, not like I work a sweaty job. I sit behind a desk. I'm one of those nerds that like, hello, yeah, all right, what's your problem? Okay. Is it still there? No? Good. Bye. As one of my least favorite people, until he said it, he became one of my favorite people. There's people in corporate America that are hard on you, and you think they're hard on you because they're just being a jerk. A lot of times they're hard on you because they're just being the devil's advocate because that's their job, right? And this person plays the devil's advocate quite often, and I appreciate people who play the devil's advocate on a project because it keeps your blinders off and it allows you to stay sharp on what could and couldn't happen with your blinders. But basically what that does is this person was like, you need to tell one of us on the board if you find a problem before you tell Drew, because Drew will fix it before any of us can even confirm the problem even existed. And I'm like, that's right, I fix things. You're right. And yeah, a lot of people were, and you improve. Real quick, T-Ray, he's one of Mike's friends. We're trying to get him to 495. And, what I will tell you, Hex, 3-foot rule. When you're first starting out on YouTube, nobody tells you this. The 3-foot rule. If you don't know what the 3-foot rule is, and you're in school, you should definitely use the 3-foot rule, right? And what's the 3-foot rule? Anyone within 3 feet of you, right? You need to tell and harass to join your channel right now, right? Especially if you're in school. It's way more fun if you're in school. And the funny thing is I have a hoodie that has the logo and everything on it, and when I do like the school events and my son does track and field, I purposely wear that hoodie because a really, really fun thing happened was somebody who watches my channel, and I didn't even realize they're in my town, and they didn't even realize I was in the same town, but he came up to me and he tapped me on the back of the shoulder. He was like, hello? And I'm like, whoa, what's up, dude? Because I was shooting with my camera and everything. I was like, hey, what's up, man? What can I do for you? And he's like, are you this guy? And he points on the phone to my channel, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, dude, I watch you like all the time. And he looks over to his buddy. He's like, it's him. And one of the kids comes over and he goes, see this? Subscribed. And I was like, that's cool. That made my whole entire month, was like having somebody go, you're that guy, and I'm nobody, and I'm an honest to God nobody on YouTube. Right now, if you know me from like my MMA days, you know me from gaming, you know me from that. But most people don't know me on YouTube, right, as that person, right? So it was really cool having that happen, and it was like, yeah! What's it say here? I started like a month ago. Fix me up a desktop, lol. You need a desktop, Mike? I think, what's it say? Don't forget me. All right, here we go. Let's get this going here. Let's rock on. Let's get these shout-outs before the end of the night. All right, so if you would like a shout-out, Hexignite has said he wants one, and I know that he's new. He comes on my stream regularly, and I'm not trying to glance over you. So I'm going to start with you first because you've been in here a little bit less than Mike, but Mike is a friend of mine, and he's been here regularly, Caleb and all of them. But let's start off with you here real quick. So real quick here, everyone, if you haven't already, go hit up my buddy at Hexignite. Go mash that red button on his screen. Leave him a comment. Let him know what's up. Give him a thumbs up. And go scope out his content. Like, actually watch his content. Determine it's for you. And give him some feedback. The other is go check out... Do you remember the Foot Clan email? It's footclan members at Gmail. Hit me up. But Hexagnite, like I said, check out his channel. Go check out my buddy Mike Myers86. He's looking for people to watch his playlist because he's so close. So check out his playlist. Like I tell you, if you really want to help people out on YouTube, this is real quick, and I'm just using Mike as an example because he's one of those people I know that has over 1,000 subs that is working very hard to get his 4,000 hours done, right? And he's gaming and he's doing it the right way, and he's just asking people to watch his playlist. So hop on your phone before you go to bed tonight. Jump on his playlist on the first video. Hey Mike, it's me, just watching your playlist, and let it run. Leave your phone plugged in so it doesn't die and it's still charged in the morning, because I've done that and my phone's been dead in the morning. I'm like, cool, I helped out a friend, but dang it, running around with a dead cell phone all day is not fun, right? Just do that. Pop on his playlist, let it play, leave him a message, let him know what's up, and just let it play. You'll help him out. And trust me, Mike's one of those dudes, you catch him on a stream, he might just shout you out, and that person, people that are watching his stream, might just come out and check you out. That's how T-Ray found me. He found me through Mike. And T-Ray's up here now, right? We're trying to get him. If you haven't already, please subscribe to T-Ray. I was really hoping, and I'm sorry, bud, we did this for, what, we're almost at 3 hours now? We're over 2 hours. We're over 2 hours, and we're trying to get him to, 5:45. I know that I've strayed away from this, and I don't have the audience that normally plays the clicky game, but we're going to build the clicky game back up so we can do this. I'm going to start offering these positions to my subscribers first to get the initial, and then after that it'll come from the chat. So if you're an active user, meaning you leave a comment, you subscribe, and I'm not saying like, hey, what's up as a comment. Like Mike leaves good comments. T-Ray left a really, really insightful comment about my retro gaming, and I was like, cool, I think I'll do more of that, right? So I figured, help him out. Help him get to his goal, because everybody wants to get to 1,000. Everybody wants to make monetization. Everybody wants to be somewhere on YouTube, and I'm not going to stop you. You know why? Because success is not limited, right? Don't believe your teachers. Don't believe everybody. Don't believe Donald Trump. Don't believe all those people who say that, ooh, there's only so much available in the world. There's not, right? There is plenty of success out there, and I found that that is the biggest lie rich people sell you. Is that success is limited, right? That only one person, yes, you can only be one Facebook Mark Zuckerberg, but you can be Dan Tennis, who runs Mines. He makes $5 million a year. Yeah, right? You can be Tom from MySpace, who's look up on YouTube what he's up to now. The dude sold the system and it's still up and running. He sold it to be shut down and it's still up and running. And he's rich as all can be, enjoying his life, right? You don't have to be the best. You just have to emulate the best to get somewhere. And I'm a good example of that. I modeled my design and my propensity around PewDiePie. Why? Because PewDiePie's the best. PewDiePie. Or however he says it, He's one of the cool guys. So I modeled my channel. I do content every day. I try to engage my audience regularly. I can't really get around the memes thing. If you think I should do meme reviews, let me know. Leave me a comment. I'll start doing some meme reviews. But let's get back up on this list. We've got Dude the Gamer YouTube. I'm trying to get to 75 subs right now. All right. You know what, dude? If you do me a favor, I'll make a deal with you right now, Dude the Gamer. I will give you an opportunity to be in this position in tomorrow's stream. All you have to do is show up within the first 10 minutes of my stream kicking off, and I will put you on the board. And we'll keep it up there. In T-Ray's case, I wanted to go to, I believe we picked 15 to start off with him, and we're trying to get him at 595, which we're 3 away from. But if you show up, I'll put you up on the counter for at least a 10 count if you can show up within the first 10 minutes of tomorrow's stream. Right? Tomorrow's stream will be a little bit of a different format, but if you can get that for me, I'll put that up. I'll put you up there, and we'll see if we can get you to 75 tomorrow. If you can show up tomorrow in the first 10 minutes. So here's what you got to do to make sure you get in time, right? One, I already know you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that bell, and after this stream is ended, make sure you leave a comment so that way the YouTube triggers the active subscriber, so you'll get the notification that I go live. Because I know that even though you hit the bell and that, if you're not actively on my channel, because I'm a nobody, you won't get the notification because everybody else's notification outweighs mine, right? Because there's somebodies, I'm a nobody, and I'm okay with that because a bunch of nobodies doing something makes a somebody, right? And if you don't believe that, Look at all the great man-made objects of the world. The pyramids, the Great Wall of China, they were all built by people, right? There you go. Yeah, Hex, let's see what we can do. All right. Let's do this. Because I don't want to play the first one in game. Because let's do this. I will put you up after I put Hex up. Because you hung out in the stream. Right? To put two of them up, it's a little too tricky for the system. This is all ninja'd together. It's not actually operating properly. If I could show you what I have to do on my other screen to make this all work, you'd be like, oh. Yeah, take it easy. Hex Ignite. Once again, go check out Hex Ignite. Check the Dude and Gamer YouTube out. Let's see here. We've got my friend Mike Myers86. Go check him out. Once again, if you're looking for somebody to game with that's actually a really good Call of Duty gamer, at least in my eyes, and I've played on the circuit, go check out Mike. He's got all the makings for the right good teammate. You just got to get a good team together and you can really go dominate, right? But yeah, go check that out. Go check my buddy Mike out. He's, like I said, he's looking for a gaming partner. I would really like to see that theory that you and I talked about where we can get 3 gamers together and leave the 4th spot open and get you and 2 other gamers to liquefy your subscriber bases amongst each other, share each other, help each other out, and run a stream all at the same time so you can keep your audiences all engaged. That's it for the money right there. I would love to see that because I think, honestly, come January 1st, that's going to be the best way for guys like you who are in the gaming niche specifically. And it's going to be a great opportunity to control the fact that when that data gate drops for kids and they get completely taken out of the system, you'll be able to already be rolling with active subscribers to put you over that hurdle when it hits you. But yeah, do that. Like I said, Mike Myers he has 2 already. Awesome, dude. I want to see that. If you guys do that, I'll make a deal with you, Mike. When you do that, when you and your 2 buddies stream, I will do my best to camp your screen. If that means I have to put my camera in front of my monitor again, yeah, it's not the world's greatest image, but I will broadcast your whole entire stream on my stream if you let me know when and how long you're going to do it. I will dedicate my stream to pumping your guys' stream, that collab stream. You know, and if you don't believe that I've done that to support other people. I've supported several people on YouTube that way. I'll support you like that on YouTube because I think it's a great idea to get people together and collab, because collabs are great. They help everybody. You know, everybody involved gets something out of it as long as you all put into it, right? And the easiest way for gamers is just to agree to stream together. You have your stream, I have my stream, he has his stream, and Drew's streaming everybody. You know, right? Essentially. So give it a shot. Try it. I'd really like to see if it works. Let's put it together. Let's get it down, get the meat and potatoes on that. I will definitely broadcast that stream, Mike, for you. I think that'll be a really cool thing when you and 2 other people are streaming. I'll stream that stream. And maybe I'll bounce from each of the channels like I did, and we'll play the bounce game, have people leave my stream, go to your stream, and then come back, and vice versa. Like, do the whole, hey, here's 5 people jumping in, here's 5 people jumping over here, here's 5 people jumping over here, here's 5 people jumping over here, and we all just keep, padding around. Right? I think it'd be a really, 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 really awesome thing. Did I miss anybody for shoutouts? I think I got everybody that was active. Let me get, we've got Caleb410 who's on there. He's right there. Oop, he's a proud supporter of my stream, right? He's an awesome guy. Go check out his channel. Like I said, you can see what he plays right here. His trailer tells you it all. We've got iMonkey Expert, who's also a good friend of mine, who was on the stream earlier today. We had Hex Ignite, who literally hung out in the stream. And then we've got Dude the Gamer YouTube, who, if he comes on tomorrow in the first 10 minutes, I will put you in that spot right there for at least 10 subs. And then immediately after that, if Hex Ignite is hanging out, we'll put it up there. Maybe, just maybe, I might sacrifice Retro Arcade and take that down and maybe be able to put a second one of these up there and do them both at the same time. We will see, but you got to show up on the stream within the first 10 minutes. So real quick, go say hi to the dude. Yeah, just get that time set up, man, and you let me know what date and what time frame that you're doing that stream with the 2 other people at the same time. I will stream camp the streams for you guys. I will jump from stream to stream, right? To broadcast that stream while I'm in front of the computer. And if I'm not in front of the computer, I will just leave your stream up and running until you guys are done. You know, right? I don't mind doing that. Like I said, I'm a nobody. I know that people are like, oh yeah, I'm a somebody to some people, but in the grand scheme of things, we're all nobodies, right? But a bunch of nobodies can make a somebody, and a bunch of nobodies working together makes something, right? So let's make something. Let's go out and do something. Let's have some fun. Let's prove to people that you don't need 50,000 subscribers to accomplish something on YouTube, that you can do it with just a simple couple guys with 1,000 subs apiece can create some awesomeness, you know, right? So let's go create some awesomeness, right? And with that, I'm going to give Mike the last shout out of the night. Go check out Mike86's channel. Like I said, if you haven't already, mash that red button, hit that comment, leave him something constructive. Let him know what you thought of what you watched. And lastly, hit that like button for him. And if you're interested in gaming and you want somebody to game with, talk to Mike. He might have a follow. He's got his people already locked in, but you know what? Everything is speculation until it becomes an action, right? You can only speculate what's going to happen until it's an action, right? So keep it in mind. He's out there. He's out trying to hustle. But the big thing you can do for me to help him out is before you go to bed tonight, fire up your phone, hit that playlist on his playlist. As soon as it fires up, go in the comment box, say, hey, Mike, it's me, whoever you are, all right, just came to watch. Boom. Mike will get back to you. I'm sure he will, because I did the same for him, and he got back to me. Yeah, right? That's why I like him, right? Because I don't deal with people who are just takers. You got to be, it's a give and take. I give a lot. The only takeaway I have is you guys come back and watch, you know, right? That's my give is to produce the content, put you guys up here, do that, because you know what? At the end of the day, there's plenty of success available for everybody. Why does people need to stop and sharpshoot people? You would get so much further by simply saying, hey, come with me, dude. I'm down. Let's hang out. Let's have some fun. Let's share each other's time, you know? Nothing wrong with that. So get at it. You know, right? Really, really get at it. You know, right? And help each other out, because at the end of the day, subbing to someone's channel doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't do anything. So why not, right? Get out there, go have some fun, go watch some content, enjoy YouTube, stay positive, and I will see you all tomorrow. I'm out!